LTV's Action Sports is brought to you in part through the generous support of these Leominster sponsors: Richardson Funeral Home, www.richardsonfuneralhome.net, the Il Camino Restaurant, www.ilcamino-restaurant.com, and by MP Crowley Company Incorporated, www.mpcrowleyinc.com.
From historic Doyle Field in Leominster, we say good evening, everyone, and welcome to high school football here on RFM Audio and with our partners at Leominster TV. Great to have you along with us on another Friday night, September the 23rd, here at Doyle Field in Leominster, where the Blue Devils bring their 2-0 record and their 90 offensive points through 2 weeks to the just 6 they have allowed defensively into battle against the Wolves of Nashoba Regional. They bring a 1-1 overall record into Doyle Field tonight. Their most recent game, a win last week on home field against a strong Longmeadow program from Western Mass. A 10-0 victory, a game where Nashoba scored their points in different fashion, and by different I mean not your usual conventional drive it down the field, put it in for a touchdown, kick the point after, and away you go. They run a punt back for a touchdown, they kick the point after, and then they follow that on up with a 3-point field goal to close out the football game by a 10-0 score. And all of those points scored by Tom Kufler, who we certainly will be keeping an eye on tonight, as he is a three-way player a la a Ricky Encarnacion for Leominster, and that is something that we will keep our eyes on as we go along. Welcome once again to Doyle Field. Todd Robbins alongside Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, Bradley Bedard for Leominster TV tonight. We'll bring you the sights and sounds here from Doyle Field as well. It's homecoming night here at historic Doyle Field, so you know that means longer halftime. That means performance by the marching band, as well as the halftime presentation of the homecoming court. And we'll have those names that go along with your homecoming court, hopefully, as we get closer and closer to halftime here at Doyle Field. If not, we'll join public address announcer Dick Tucker when he makes the presentations down on the field, and hopefully be able to pick up that coverage as we go along as well. If you're just joining us here on Leominster TV and you're wondering about this Leominster and Nashoba series, we were talking about it in the first half hour of our countdown to kickoff here on RFM. This is a series that everyone loves, and yet scheduling over the decades has caused issues because of size, strength of schedule, division, league, all of these various things that have over the years made it difficult for these two schools to routinely meet up year in and year out. So we'll track just the last 5 meetings between these two programs. Since 2013, Leominster leads the series 3 wins to 2 losses. The most recent, the game last year over at Nashoba, it was in this very same week 3, a 13-7 Leominster win. You go back for the most recent Nashoba win, you got to go to 2019, pre-COVID and pre all the craziness that came associated with the 2020 and early parts of 2021 as well. It was a 17-14 Nashoba win on a field goal in overtime in 2019. And so that is where the series lands. Leominster has outscored Nashoba over these 5 games, 125-90 as well. And as we mentioned, Leominster has outscored their opponents through the first 2 weeks, 90-6. So certainly a matchup that we're looking for. We're getting word that Nashoba may be struggling a little bit, couple of injuries off and on. They may have some personnel shuffles throughout the night as well. There's a couple of COVID cases as well that may lead to some scratches. So we're keeping an eye on kind of where things progress with Coach Andy LeBlanc's squad. We may have some new names as the night progresses, but we'll see. It's the 2-0 Blue Devils, the 1-1 Wolves, as we get you ready here on our countdown to kickoff here on RFM and Leominster TV, and with our partners at Tucker 56 Radio and Tucker56Radio.com and 95.1 FM WLPZ and WLPZ.org. All right, that's all the particulars and the setup that we need as we go inside the headset. Down on the field just moments ago, I went inside the headset with Leominster High School head coach Devin Gates, and boy, did we get blown around. If we look out to my right, radio right to left, the wind is blowing from the upper field of Doyle Field down that natural bowl and straight across and up over the hill onto Morton Street. If you look at the American flag that is on the top of the upper field, it is fully extended, wind whipping through it from a hard right to left or across the field from near sideline to far as you look at it. Let's go inside the headset, wind notwithstanding, with Leominster High School head coach Devin Gates. Down on a blustery Doyle Field as we go inside the headset with Leominster High School head coach Devin Gates. And coach, it's week 3 action. You and I were just saying before we went on the air tonight, the wind is whipping here at Doyle Field, maybe a little bit more than certainly I anticipated, but the rumor is it will forecast-wise kind of dissipate as the night goes on, and will make for a great night of high school football here at Doyle Field tonight.
That's what I've been told anyway, Todd. So I'm really hoping that that's the case. I mean, it's not too bad right now. A couple gusts here and there, but it's nothing that's gonna change our game plan at all right now. But no, nice night, nice cool night. It's definitely feels like an October night already, a late October night. So guys are ready and excited.
You know, it is homecoming here at Doyle Field tonight, and I always feel for both the players that get home to be out on the field themselves. They got to hang out of the locker room. They don't get to go back, and they're here as part of the ceremony. But then there's also the young ladies who get all dolled up and are in their dresses and are here, of course, for a fantastic night. And then you get a freezing cold night here at Doyle Field.
Yeah, it'll be a little chilly, but I'm sure the kids, they're young and resilient, so I'm sure it won't bother them too much. This is, especially if you're a senior, this is the last time you get to do it. So, it's a small price to pay for, for great memories.
Resilience is certainly the name of the game, and that is, of course, something that your team has demonstrated week in and week out through the first couple of weeks. They are not letting anything faze them play to play. The success certainly continues to breed and build one on another. As you've kind of matriculated through practice this week, what stood out to you from your practice sessions?
Just that our approach, hasn't changed at all, despite how we've played in our games. It's the guys. It's like they know the formula, they know that it's working, and they're going to stick with it. Come hell or high water. So, really, how dialed in they are, and how little I've had to try to right the ship if they're off course a little bit. It's really been the seniors leading the way and the captains and keeping everybody focused. And for the coaches wise, we're got the practice plans going, go out there and execute. We haven't really had to do much in terms of getting on the kids to make sure that they're focusing up on what they need to do.
We talk a lot about this as the weeks have progressed, but we'll hit it again. One of the things that you certainly have advantage wise coming into tonight is depth of weapons. You just have such a litany of weapons, and of course we tend to talk about it on the offensive side of the ball, but you could argue it on the defensive side of the ball. You have a lot of weapons there as well that you're able to use and adjust tactically in order to snuff out what the opposing offense is trying to do. That is certainly advantage Leominster tonight.
Yeah, we're really lucky right now to have a lot of depth on both sides of the ball. We can kind of mix things up with personnel packages, whether it be offense or defense, and get the best players out there for the matchups of the situation. And there's kids out here too that, because of our depth, that haven't really been able to see the field, that are really good football players. So, it's about, that team first mentality, right? Because if that doesn't, if people start to get upset with not getting out there, then, that kind of creeps in a little bit. But that we haven't had that on the team at all. And guys are ready for their numbers called to go out and make a play. So, we've seen a lot of guys have success so far. There's a lot of guys that are yet to show themselves this year that, that will certainly, you'll certainly know by the end of the season.
On the other side, of course, Nashoba is going to, they've now got a couple of weeks worth of video to see, to go through and kind of figure out what it's been about this Leominster offense that people have been so befuddled by as we now get into week 3 of action, and they have the ability to kind of game plan physically a little bit. Where do you expect that they're going to look to kind of push you guys on the offensive side of the ball?
I think they're going to challenge our pass protection, really. I think they're going to try to put, some players in the box, whether it be, 6, 7 guys in the box, bring some pressure, and try to disrupt the backfield and try to disrupt, Osiris from his throwing platform. I feel like that's going to be the prescription for success against us right now. So we'll see how that works out. They have some good players. They're definitely the most physical team we've faced so far. So we have a challenge in front of us. But I think we got the guys to be able to match up pretty well.
And, of course, anytime Leominster and Nashoba gets together, special teams enters the conversation. Certainly we covered a bit of it earlier this week on the Coach's Corner, but the game in 2019 came down to a field goal in the first possession of overtime. That says it all. Whether it's a field goal, an onside kick, a punt return, and you had a couple last week. They had one last week, was kind of their big moment, point scoring wise. That third part of the game certainly going to be an important piece of tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and we continue to make that an emphasis for us too. Whether it be, especially with the weather, maybe playing a part in it tonight. We're really gonna, might see a different kicker out there, one who's a little bit more, a little better at squibbing or getting the ball down the field, lower line drives. If that's something we want to do. But no, it's certainly the third phase, and most, a lot of times, most important phase of the game for us. And the guys practiced well this week with it.
If the wind continues to blow from upper field down across the bowl toward Morton Street, which direction is favorable off the coin toss?
We're going to defer. That's what we're going to do.
You and every other coach, as it turns out. Hey, we'll worry about this after halftime, is how that usually sorts out.
After that, we're going to defer first. We go. But obviously, we want to have the fourth quarter heading out towards the scoreboard to obviously be preferable right now. But we'll see how it goes. Like I said, the wind it's blowing a little bit right now, gusting a little bit, but it's not anything that's going to change what we want to do offensively.
Coming up top of the hour, Leominster and Nashoba for you here on RFM Audio. Coach, I'll walk with you. Key to victory tonight.
I just execute. If we make some dumb mistakes, penalties or turnovers, that could really put us behind the eight ball and it makes some trouble for us. So it's really just playing a clean game offensively and defensively, and just executing the way we have done the last couple of weeks.
All right, Coach, best of luck.
All right, thanks, Todd.
And that was our trip inside the headset with Leominster High School head coach Devin Gates just a little while ago during warm-ups down on the turf here at Doyle Field. You can hear the enthusiasm in his voice, and hey, why wouldn't you be? After the last handful of years where things have been a struggle, you've got a couple of weeks where things are building, and more importantly, you have a team right now that appears to both be locked in, as is the team's terminology, but also bought in to the overall direction that the program is moving. They'll face a great challenge tonight in Nashoba. It will be a physical battle down on the field, one maybe more so than we have seen in the previous couple of weeks. So that is where we head as we move to our starting lineups for Leominster and Nashoba. Let's start first with the Leominster High School defense.
John Escabi, 56, senior, D-end, captain.
Giovanni Roman, 55, senior, defensive line.
Logan Arcee, number 54, senior, D-tackle.
Delmar Wright, number 52, senior, defensive line.
Makai Simpson-Newton, number 2, senior, linebacker, captain.
Xavier Cora, number 5, sophomore, linebacker.
Joshua Cormier, 44, senior, linebacker.
Brian Aguilar, number 1, senior, cornerback.
Steven Diaz, 11, senior, cornerback. Jared Viola, number 3, senior, safety.
Ricky Encarnacion, 0, senior, safety.
And that Leominster defense will be matched up against Nashoba's multi-front offense. They're going to show some spread. They're going to show some old-fashioned eye. They're going to show some wingbacks. It is going to be a multiple front for Nashoba as they this season attempt to identify what is their best formation. Before we get to that Nashoba starting lineup, here come the Blue Devils as they come charging out of their tunnel, through the smoke and out onto the field from high right corner to lower left across the field here at Doyle Field tonight, led by Ricky Encarnacion along with Makai Newton, Tony Kentel, and Josh Cormier charging out with the American flag as well. Starting lineup for Nashoba's multi-front offense looks like this. The left side protected by Aiden Carey and Matthew Curran, the tackle and guard respectively. Jason Ladd handles the snapping. The right side is where some question marks exist. Liam Kelly, physically the most imposing player on Nashoba's line, he'll be the right tackle. The right guard spot is going to be a committee. We will see who occupies that right tackle spot tonight. The running backs, Ben Sylvester and Aiden McLaughlin. The wide receivers, Thomas Kufler and Cameron Hill. Ciron Murphy will be the tight end, and Mike Guthrie is the quarterback. All right, here's Leominster's offense in their own voices.
Cyrus Lopez, number 9, freshman, quarterback.
Makai Stinson-Newton, number 2, senior, running back, captain.
Rick Encarnacion, 0, senior, receiver.
Brian Aguilar, number 1, senior, wide receiver.
Caden Drinkwater, number 8, freshman, wide receiver. Joshua Cormier, 44, senior, H-back.
Logan Arcee, number 54, senior, left tackle.
Delmar Wright, number 52, senior, offensive line.
John Scobby, 56, senior, center, captain.
Corin Sullivan, number 73, senior, offensive guard.
Tony Kendall, number 69, junior, offensive tackle.
And that is Leominster's offense. They will match up against the Nashoba defense that was showing signs of 5-3. They've previously shown some 4-4. They're going to show some 5-3 here tonight. The tackles, Caden Wright, Liam Kelly, Matt Curran. The defensive ends, Zach Dolan and Giorgio Diodomenico. The linebackers, Kieran Murphy, Ben Sylvester, Jax Christman. The defensive backs, Cameron Hill, Tom Kiffler, and Ruben Nyasani. And with that, we head down on the field. Bill Thomas is going to listen in to our coin toss tonight. Captains are out at midfield with our crew chief, Bob Bonsi.
Things are kind of windy down here tonight. Be a referee tonight, my fellow officials. Mr. Napolitano, he's on the chains on the shoulder side. Mr. Gellman's the umpire in the middle of the field with me. Mr. Napolitano, Owen, he's your back judge. 10, down with 5, okay? Mr. Field judge on the Leominster side, okay? The game clock is official. This game isn't a tie. We're going to play the MIAA tiebreaker. If you don't have any questions, I'll show you first. That's the inside, and that's the tailstone.
The voice you are hearing is crew chief Bob Bonsi. Bill Thomas is right down there with him. I see the coin has gone down, and Bill Thomas will have the results.
White on the toss from the second half. You're going to receive. Start the game. Blue receive.
So, Bill Thomas, they get the wind going in the direction they want. That's the good news.
I hope that get out of the way. And Nashoba won the coin toss and deferred to the second half. They're going to defend the goal to our right. Blue Devils receive the opening kickoff. They're going to be heading into the wind here when the game starts, heading towards the baseball side of the field. Let's play some football.
All right, Bill Thomas, thank you so much. Down on the field, bringing us the coin toss in person down on the field there as well. And with that, we are ready for Leominster and Nashoba. Coming up, national anthem first, Leominster High School Marching Band under the direction of their band director, Bob Bergeron. We're ready for football here at historic Doyle Field tonight. Todd Robbins with Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. Great to have you along with us wherever you're joining us from, whether it's youtube.com, Facebook Live, Twitch, Leominster TV on Comcast, Verizon, and Leominster.tv, or in delay with our partners, 95.1 FM WLPZ and WLPZ.org at noon on Saturdays, or Tucka 56 Radio, noon on Sundays, and Tucka56Radio.com. With that, it's Leominster and Nashoba, and we're ready for you. A 2-0 Blue Devil team riding high through the first 2 weeks of action. And offensively, defensively, special teams, it's all come up blue and white through 2 weeks. What does week 3 have in store? And how much, Bill Thomas, will the wind be the factor? Will be the question we will run into as we get ready for the play-by-play.
I got to tell you, it's whipping down there. Todd had to break out the gloves and the winter hat. You are listening to Leominster High School Football from RFM Audio on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. It's time for our signature play-by-play. Now with the call of the game, the voice of the Blue Devils, Todd Robbins.
All right, Bill Thomas, thank you so much. Ball set down on the tee, 40-yard line at our right. Tom Keffler will be kicking from right to left with the wind whipping at his back. He swings the right leg. It is a line drive wobbling on that third axis. Will roll all the way down to the goal line. Will be returned by Ricky Encarnacion. He picks it up with a head of steam. He's got 30-yard line easily, then the 35, runs into some resistance and drives his legs forward toward the 40. He'll be stopped shy at around the 37-yard line. It'll be a Leominster first down and 10. They mark it at the 36, and Leominster will go left to right with the wind coming down off the upper field and across the playing surface from right to left into their face.
And the wind is an understatement, Todd, up here in the cozy confines of our press box here at Doyle Field. We're comfortable, barely notice the wind, but down there on the field is blowing off the upper field, and Blue Devils are driving right into the teeth of it, this opening drive.
And here comes the Leominster offense under the direction of the freshman Osiris Lopez. Shotgun set. 3 receivers in the formation, 2 bunch tight wide to the right. The handoff is for Newton. Newton cuts back in off the edge of the tackle, drives forward across the 40, churns his legs toward the 43-yard line. Looks like a gain of 8, second down and 2.
Nice little opening run right there. You know, Blue Devils start off on the ground, but I don't think they're going to stay in the ground much. Lopez been very successful through the air, and I don't think a little bit of wind's gonna change the offense, at least not early on here.
Second down, 2 to go. Leominster snapping their own 43-yard line just inside of right hash. Shotgun set, 3 receivers in the formation, 2 wide to the left. Lopez blitzed right off, has to drive himself rolling to the right toward the sideline. He keeps the ball as he tried to direct traffic downfield and ends up running out of bounds with maybe a short loss on the play. Now they're going to give him, it looks like, no gain, maybe, Bill Thomas?
Yeah, trying to see. They're not moving the stick much. Looks like the line of scrimmage is 37. We're going to a loss of 1. We'll give him a sack on that. Loss of 2 when it's all said and done.
To the 42-yard line, so it'll be third down, 4 to go. Leominster needs their own 46.5-yard line for a first down as the drive goes from left to right.
Good job by Osiris there avoiding a sack. Would have been about a 10-yard loss. Made something out of nothing. Manageable here.
Lopez comes out of the huddle. Shotgun set, 3 receivers in the formation, 2 wide left. Single one-on-one is Brian Aguilar tight to the boundary right. 11:03 clock frozen as Lopez calls signals. On third down and 4. Back to pass, 3 steps, throws out to the boundary. Pass is caught by Aguilar. He eludes a defender, stays with it, drives across midfield, taken down at the Wolf 48-yard line, and it is a Leominster first down, and a great job, Bill Thomas. Get back to pass quickly, hit the back foot, and get the ball out.
Yeah, nice spot pass right there. Nothing fancy, but 2 players on the same page right there. Move the chains, but get that first completion under your belt. Very, very, very confident looking Lopez there, a quarterback. All the signals, all the mannerisms, no sign of panic right there. Play clock running down and completes that pass for a first down.
10:45 and counting here in quarter 1. First offensive possession for either team. On 1st and 10 from the Wolf 48. The handoff inside, sniffed out immediately and dropped in the backfield. Braden Martin on the carry. He's going to lose 2, maybe 3. Ball back across midfield and down at around the 49.5-yard line of Leominster.
Looked like Zach Dolan in there on the tackle along with some help from Liam Kelly. And that goes for nothing. Actually,
12 and a half.
Right there.
Yeah. Second down, 12 and a half. Their own 49 and 1/2 inside of right hash. They need the 38-yard line of the Wolves for the first down. Shotgun set, 3 receivers out. Lopez, quick 3-step drop, throws. It's behind his intended receiver, Caden Drinkwater, and will hit the turf. Incomplete.
Yeah, and that's something that the Wolves are going to be watching there. That quick hit or a corner safety man, corner man there, a linebacker. I'm not sure which one. Dropped back in that lane and had a nice little line to that ball. Luckily, that wasn't picked off.
And this is one of those concerns, Bill Thomas. The more things that get put on tape, clearly you can see Nashoba is increasing the pressure. Force this freshman quarterback to move or do something or adjust. And right now, it's certainly effective.
Well, I think that's what they think that their key to success is to pressure Lopez, try to use his inexperience against him.
3rd and 12, 4 receivers evenly split out of the gun. Lopez immediately rolls to the sideline. Hits Braden Martin coming out of the backfield. He drives his legs across the 45, leans down as he heads toward the 40. He's going to be short of the first down, but he does pick up quite a chunk. Gains back the negative yardage, plus a handful more. Call it a gain of maybe 12 on the, now make it 11 on the play. 4th down, 2 to go.
Yeah, nice job by Martin there. They'll load his head. Not much of an opportunity to gain extra yards here, taking on 3 defenders, but nice job to make this into a manageable 4th down. Looks like the Blue Devils going to go for it here. Some signaling going in. Lopez getting the play.
As the Leominster fans get behind their offense on 4th down here on the first possession of the game. 4th down and 3 to go officially. They need the Wolf 38. Back to pass, 4 receivers, floats high, passes caught by Drinkwater, regains his feet, gets him down on the ground. He's across the 35, still on his feet at the 30, and drives his way to the 25-yard line. Leominster's drive continues. It's a gain of 16 as Lopez went quick to Drinkwater. The pass was high. Drinkwater caught it. That could have been in trouble. Came down into open space and then drove his legs, Bill Thomas, for the first.
Yeah, and that's a product of being tall. We talked about you can't coach tall, but you can really take advantage of it, and that paid off right there. But, you know, where Drinkwater caught that, it was not a first down. He had to fight his way beyond the first down marker and got some extra yards to boot.
Officially a 1st and 10 for Leominster at the Wolf 27-yard line at left hash. Drive continues from left to right. Shotgun set, 4 receivers split evenly in the formation. Lopez back to pass, 5 steps with some time. He slides over to his right, looking end zone. He will now tuck the ball and run into the defense, driving his legs and spun down officially at the 20-yard line after a gain of 7.
Nice job right there. Not trying to force something. Looked like he was going to let it fly, but thought better of it. Showing some experience well beyond his years, and you know, it's paying off here in this game already. Nice job by Lopez. Recognize, take what is there and move on for another play.
4 minutes and counting gone by here in quarter 1, and a scoreless game here in week 3. Leominster and Nashoba. Leominster's offensive possession, the first of the night for either team, has chewed up almost 4.5 minutes of game clock. Officially a 2nd down and 4 to go. Snapping from the 21-yard line of the Wolves just inside of right hash. Encarnacion shifts in motion. The give is for Braden Martin. Martin finds room up the hash, splits the defense across the 2nd level, across the 10-5 goal line. It's a 22-yard touchdown run for Braden Martin, and Leominster strikes first once again.
And Braden didn't have to run over anybody. He outran him, found a seam, and there was no looking back.
7:27 to play in quarter 1. 3 weeks of action. Leominster has scored first in all 3 of their games through the first 3 weeks.
And they got down the field with a balanced attack, mixing passing and running, effective in both disciplines, ends up with 6.
Brian Aguilar holds for Dan Thompson, kicking into the wind toward the upper field. Snap, Aguilar bobbled it, got it down. Thompson kept his wits and drove it through. Back upfield come the team. 7:27 to play here in quarter number 1. Leominster on top of Nashoba by a 7-0 score. Pause in the action. Good opportunity here for a check of our weather forecast. Let's get your game time weather conditions. 50 degrees, feels like 46 here on a Friday night under a gale warning, according to the National Weather Service, will trickle down from our daytime high of 58 toward 44 by the conclusion of this one at 7:07 on a Friday night, September the 23rd. Great to have you along with us here on RFM Audio and Leominster TV Live. Kate Robbins has got your drive summary.
I certainly do, Todd and Billy. That's a 9-play drive in 4.5 minutes, totaling 64 yards. It ends with a 22-yard touchdown rush by Braden Martin. He has been a force already on the offensive side of the ball, not only rushing, but he also has a reception as well.
All right, Kate, thank you so much. Ball back on the tee, 40-yard line at our left. Delmar Wright handles the kicking, and Coach Devin Gates had alluded to this, a slightly different kicker here, and Wright kicks with the left foot this time. He will drop the ball right around the 23-yard line where it will roll up to be returned. The Wolves will field, charge across the 25, and just shy of the 30-yard line. They'll give him the 30. It is a return of 10, and it looks like to me Zach Dolan on the return for Nashoba. Breaking the action, we pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is high school football on RFM.
You're listening live to Rivalry Family Media, streaming audio on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. For those enjoying our encore presentation, you're listening to our partners, 95.1 FM, WLPZ Low Power FM, Leominster.
No gain on first down for the Wolves. It was Gage Mclaughlin on the carry. Maybe they give him just a little bit past the 30. It was 1st and 10, Nashoba at their own 30. Ball now at the 30.5 yard line. Give him half a yard. So we'll call it 2nd and a short 10. Give this time is for Mclaughlin once again. He will bounce it to the outside right, lose what was gained, plus back across the 30 to the 29. It's a loss of 2, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 12 to go. Gage Mclaughlin subbing in for Aiden McLaughlin, who was intended to start at running back. Gage McLaughlin, the junior, 5'6", 165, fills in at the running back spot for Nashoba tonight. 6:20 and counting to play here in quarter one. Leominster with the 7-0 lead. Guthrie in a shotgun set. Give it for McLaughlin. Drives his legs forward toward the 30-yard line, then to the 31. He gained back what was lost on 2nd down and a shade more to bring up a 4th down and 9. Logan Arce with the big hit for Leominster.
Yeah, Arce coming around from his right side on defense, circling around the blocker and making that tackle from behind. A lot of ground to cover for a defensive lineman to get a tackle on the offside, but he was all over that.
4th down, Wolves will punt. Good snap, punt is away. Different punter here. That was Michael Hirschberger. Hirschberger's kick, end over end, will die across the Leominster 45 and be touchdown at the Leominster 42-yard line. And it will be Leominster, 1st and 10 at their own 42, going left to right, wearing the home royal blue tops, white bottoms, white numerals front and back, all trimmed with royal blue and white. Devils across the chest, the classic Leominster white helmet with white face masks, and the single royal blue stripe up the middle. Team jersey number on either side, a double digit on either side of the stripe on the helmets.
27-yard punt by the Wolves, going to set the Blue Devils up. Great field position at their own 42.
Here comes Lopez, 1st and 10, the Leominster 42. The give for Braden Martin, who gets the carry. Martin off the right of the formation with space across the 45 and toward midfield. He'll gain 8 on 1st down, and Braden Martin's had a great start to this football game. Martin, the junior running back, 5'11", 175, has traditionally spelled Mackay Newton. Newton had the first carry of the game, but since then, haven't seen much of Newton on the field.
And
it's been Braden Martin.
Todd, just to mention, I see him pacing up and down the sideline over. I'm wondering if he didn't tweak something. Talking to Coach.
First real cold night.
Yeah, he's on the sideline, but it looks like he's itching to get back in. He's got his helmet on.
2nd and 3, their own 49, going left to right. Lopez asks for the ball. 5-step drop blitz coming from the blind side, and he is sacked. Big sack on the play. Giorgio Diadomenico comes from the blind side and wraps and takes down Lopez. Big loss on the play.
Yeah, 3 sacks by the defense. You know, the Wolves defense has been playing great, even though they did give up 27 week 1. You know, week 1's always a wild card. But come back with that shutout last week, had 3 sacks and a couple of turnovers on down. So they've been showing up to play, and they showed it right there. Lopez got to put that ball away. He's lucky he didn't get that ball knocked out on that. He got spun around right there. Kind of juggled it loose, but was able to maintain possession. But dangerous play right there. Lopez kind of showing a little bit of his inexperience right there. He's got to put that ball away.
Leominster facing a 3rd and long for one of the first times this season, and the flag is up from the back judge. Delay of game signaled against Leominster. It'll be 3rd and longer.
Like Leominster lost their way a little bit right there, trying to regroup after that sack, and it's just going to make this 3rd down a little tougher.
Bob Bonsi says delay a game, 5-yard penalty.
Haven't seen a lot of the punt, special teams punt out there, crew for the Blue Dye. I think they've got 1 punt maybe in the first 2 games.
I can't name one, Bill Thomas, through 2 games.
Towards the end of the game.
Delmar Wright does the punting.
But yeah, we might see special teams punt unit out there tonight.
3rd down and long. The snap, back to pass. Lopez rolls to his left into the open field, looking for Encarnacion, and it drops into his belly across the Wolf 35 and out of bounds at the Wolf 30-yard line. Encarnacion beat double coverage going to the left boundary, made the catch as it dropped out of the sky and took it out of bounds.
Doing some quick math here, Todd. Line of scrimmage from the 30, 42, 40, 35, 15. About a 40-yard pitching catch right there. Lopez to Encarnacion.
3:31 to play here in the first quarter. 7-0 is Leominster's advantage, and with a huge pass from Lopez to Encarnacion, Leominster gets back on schedule. 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line at left hash. Check it, Wolves left hash, and the handoff went inside this time. Looked like Xavier Cora on the carry for Leominster.
I think it was, Todd. But, I mean, you got to say, what wind? The way he Lopez just lofted that up there. Encarnacion ran under it full speed right to the spot. I mean, what a beautiful pitch and catch right there, that prior play.
Cora gains 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Ball at the Wolf 20-yard line at left hash. The Nashoba Wolves wearing these new look jerseys, color rush white, top to bottom, evergreen the accents, evergreen socks, a new look Nashoba helmet. It's evergreen with a single gold stripe on either side of an evergreen crown on each of the helmets and a gray face mask. 2nd and 5, whistles kill the play, and the timeout taken by Leominster head coach Devin Gates just before the snap of the football on 2nd down and 5. 2:41 to play here in the first quarter. 7-0 Leominster's advantage. And Bill Thomas, Coach Gates talked about this week during the Coach's Corner. They were real close to taking a timeout last week on a play that looked like it was going to be blown up and then all of a sudden turned into a touchdown. That time, coaching staff saw something and they said, we're not going to wait. They spent the timeout.
Yeah, I think a good timeout right there. You know, you got an inexperienced quarterback and you don't want him, you know, falling into something. Might have been some type of defensive trap there that the coach saw up here, and quick on that timeout, got the message down to Coach Gates and got it out to the officials, and we'll have to see what they bring now on 2nd down and about 6 and sniffing that field goal, that end zone again.
2nd down, short 6, ball at the 20-yard line at left hash.
Looked like they were going to run some kind of swing play out here to Encarnacion on the short side towards our side, actually be the long side of the field, giving Encarnacion a lot of room to work, use his speed. And
Lopez in a shotgun set, 4 receivers. Encarnacion is in motion, and the left tackle, Logan Arce, stepped back, and then another flag went up from the wing official on the far side. He picked that one up quickly. It came late. Might have gotten stuck on his way trying to throw it because it was on his side of the field. He would have been the guy to flag.
In case they review the tape, be like, why didn't you throw yours?
I was stuck in my belt. I couldn't get it out of my belt.
Looked like they were running that same play there. Had Zero in motion here, coming to the wide side. See what they run off
Encarnacion
it.
left to right in motion, sets up trips to the right. Back to pass on 2nd and 10. Hits Encarnacion. Back judge sends a flag out toward the line. Encarnacion is across the Wolf 20 toward the 15-yard line. He's wrapped down on the play, and Mike Guthrie says this one's going back for the Wolves. Head coach Devin Gates is apoplectic on the near side of the field. And Bob Bonsi says, hang on, let me give you the signal. Personal foul, illegal blindside block signaled against Leominster. It is a new point of emphasis over the last couple of years. It's also a new signal in the repertoire as well.
I was going to say, what is that, a little head-on?
Illegal blindside block.
But, yeah, we kind of saw that in the open field right there. The wide receiver, we'll leave it at that, trying to help out that play.
And crack back on the play.
Yeah, and caught the defensive back looking for the ball. But you got to get in front when you're going to block. You can't block from the back or blindside them. It's a good rule. You don't want to see somebody get hurt.
It's a 10-yard penalty. It will set Leominster back across the Wolf 30 to the 35-yard line. This left-to-right drive is doing a lot of right-to-lefting on flags on back-to-back plays. 2nd and long, Lopez out of the gun, back to pass. Makai Newton into the game, flips the little screen over a defender, got to Newton. He got his track moving, and he will take the ball across the 30 to about the 28-yard line, gains back some of what was lost on the penalty, but still setting up a 3rd down and long, 3rd and 13 from the Wolf 28-yard line at left hash.
Yeah, crazy one-handed catch out there too by Newton, but found some positive yardage out of that, the manageable 3rd down.
Coach Gates sends the play into Osiris Lopez at the 140 and counting mark here of the first. 7-0 Leominster's advantage. 3rd, 13. Ball at the 28 at left hash. Lopez scans the line with trips to his right. Asks for the ball on the delay. Calls his own number to the short side of the field. Cross the 25, then the 20. Cross the 20 and out of bounds at the 19-yard line. It will set up a 4th down, but a 4th down and about 4. And Bill Thomas, are you seeing a flag out? It is.
Yeah,
it's flag at the
on
line.
The sideline, maybe some kind of blocking infraction. A lot going on over there at the end of that play. Face mask maybe, we'll have to see. Could be most anything.
Here comes Bob Bonsi. Illegal block in the back signaled against Leominster. And that will set Leominster back once again.
You know, Lopez over there fighting for everything, reversing field and stuff, and sometimes ready to throw a block. The defensive player reverses his direction a little bit, and you're caught on the wrong side.
Coach Devin Gates looks toward the sideline. He's trying to find somebody, and it's Dominic Swain. Swain gets sent in with a different package of personnel heading out onto the field on 3rd down and long. Ball back at the Wolf 30-yard line, still at left hash. Leominster needs the Wolf 15-yard line from left to right for a 1st down. Shotgun set, 3 receivers in the formation. 2 tight to the boundary left. Lopez back to pass, launches onto the one-on-one, downfield jump ball, and it is incomplete, nearly intercepted on the play. Jax Chrisman, the linebacker out in pass coverage, had his hands on it. Great job by Jared Viola, the receiver who was going to have that ball taken away from him, to crack back into the play, go on defense, and take the receiver down with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, that was, you said it right, Todd. Jump ball, 50-50, but defense had the inside position right there. Viola had to turn himself into a defender. Blue Devils going to get another play here, and 4th down. Looks like they might be going for it.
51 seconds with the clock stopped here in the first quarter on the incompletion. 7-0 Leominster's lead. 4th down, 15. They need the Wolf 15. Snapping from the Wolf 30-yard line at left hash. Empty backfield. 5 receivers out in the formation. Trips to the right side of the formation. Lopez asks for the ball. 3-step drop. Slant over the middle. Juggled. Back judge says incomplete. Steven Diaz was the intended receiver. It doesn't matter. It was short of the mark to gain. So it's a turnover on downs, and the ball will go back to Nashoba. 1st and 10. Their own 30-yard line going right to left. But feeling good. They've done something that most defenses have failed at doing, and that's force Leominster off the field.
Absolutely, and get them off the field without surrendering points. And a good job by the Wolves defense right there. You know, they had a couple of 3-and-outs last week, And they brought that defense to play tonight for sure. Still trapped on the own side of the field. Not much success on offense, but see if they can't turn that around.
Second offensive possession comes with 46 seconds left here in the first. Here comes Mike Guthrie, 1st and 10, his own 30, hard count. Whistles kill the play, and I believe a Blue Devil defender broke the neutral zone. It is an offside signaled against Leominster. It'll be a 5-yard penalty, and all of a sudden, flags are going against the Blue Devils tonight at an alarming rate. Also something we haven't seen.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of penalties against the Blue Devils. Been playing very disciplined, but a little edgy, a little different opponent tonight.
Bill Thomas, we
much
go to
closer first quarter than they played the last couple of weeks.
We go to our movie archive. You know, we go to the Keanu Reeves classic, The Replacements. What are you afraid of on a football field? The answer is not bees, as flags kill the play. It's quicksand, Bill Thomas. And right now, quicksand seems to be a problem.
Both teams seem to be stuck in it right now. Nobody's really doing much of anything. A couple of quick offensive spurts mid-quarter there by the Blue Devils, but they got mired down here on the Wolves side of the field.
5-yard penalty goes against the Wolves. We'll mark them back to their own 30. We still have not snapped a first down play.
4 plays in a row, I think we've had yellow laundry out on the field.
Looking like week 1 action all of a sudden here in week 3. 1st and 10 from their own 30 at right hash. Guthrie with the option out to the right into the boundary and out of bounds. It's a short gain on the play. It was Kufler with the run, angled out toward the right sideline, gains maybe a yard on the play.
I'm trying to see if they even give him a yard, but Blue Devil there off the right side, left side of the line. I'm trying to see who it was. 64, I think, was right in the middle of that pitch. Almost had the pitch in the air. Henry Miaa shedding the blocker and almost in on that play.
And that option play is going to be how we bring the first quarter to an end as the Wolves head over to Coach Andy LeBlanc. Final ticks come off the board here in quarter number 1. It's Leominster 7, Nashoba nothing. All of a sudden, we've come back to earth with all of the lofty things we've seen through the first 3 weeks here on RFM, Leominster TV, and with our partners at WLPZ 95.1 FM and Tucka 56 Radio. Through one quarter, Kate, I imagine, as you are back at RFM HQ, the numbers are a little more earthbound as well.
Oh, you can certainly say that again. The number that is absolutely jumping off the page right now, as you said, have been the penalties against Leominster, especially in that second drive. They had an 8-play drive, but 4 penalties against them in that drive alone. They've got 20 yards in penalties. So the overall penalty total, not astronomical, but it's a drive killer, however you slice it and dice it. And right now, that's been the only bugaboo for Leominster, has been the laundry on the field.
Thank you so much, Kate. As the team's change ends, Leominster will go right to left in the second quarter. That means Nashoba goes left to right, and they will have the wind coming into their face here in quarter number 2, chasing Leominster's 7-0 lead.
Blue Devils did a good job managing the wind there. Got some points on the board. Have to see what the second quarter brings.
2nd and 9, their own 31. The give is for Kufler. He will take the ball out to the left, working laterally across the 30. May have leaned forward back to the 31. They're going to give him a yard more, give him a gain of 2 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 7.
And that last yard was with Ricky Encarnacion on his back, taking him down. Nice job out there protecting that defensive right side that he's in charge of and stopping that before he can turn the corner.
Kufler beat Longmeadow last week. He returned the punt for the 6. He kicked the point after, and then he turned around and kicked the field goal, then the football game. He accounted for all 10 points. Guthrie back to pass, floats long into the second level. It is incomplete. The tight end, Murphy, was the intended target.
Encarnacion in on defense there, roaming all the way across the field from his safety position.
And it'll bring up a 4th down and 7. Ball at their own 33-yard line at left hash. And Coach LeBlanc's going to make some personnel changes. Punt formation coming up here. Looks like Declan McKillop, the backup quarterback in punt formation. Stands at his own 21, and it is blocked! The Leominster rush gets in there, and there is a block. Keegan Armashinga, the first Blue Devil on the scene, might have got a little help, but it is a blocked punt, and Leominster takes over with great field position. John Ascabi in there as well with the push up front, Bill Thomas.
I think he had the recovery, Todd, and all said and done, he ended up on top of that football.
And it'll be 1st and 10 for Leominster after the blocked punt at the Wolf 27-yard line at right hash, going right to left with the wind at their back here in the second quarter. Here comes Osiris Lopez in a shotgun set, 4 receivers in the formation, trips wide left and quickly whistles kill the play, and Nashoba spends a timeout.
Saw something they didn't like there. Looks like Blue Devils were going for a quick hitter.
11:09 to play here in the second quarter, and the timeout spent by Coach Andy LeBlanc. A little different wrinkle on that formation. It was a shotgun spread, 4 receivers. We've seen that with Leominster, but usually a balanced field, 2 and 2, maybe a motion man. In that case, it was trip set up to the left and one-on-one tight to the boundary.
Yeah, something the Wolves defense didn't like the look of there, and quickly call timeout, reset their defense, make them aware of something that they felt the Blue Devils were going to run there out of that formation. They felt good about what they were seeing, and they wanted to put a stop to it.
So happy to have you along with us on RFM Audio, wherever you are across the region or around the globe, streaming via YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch, with our television partners at Leominster TV, on Leominster.tv, or on the channels of Comcast and Verizon, and with our radio partners in Delay, 95.1 FM, WLPZ FM, or Tucka56radio.com. We are so pleased to support the student athletes and institutions as the legendary soundtrack of football in Central Massachusetts continues right here on RFM Audio. On first down out of the timeout, Lopez bootlegs to his left. Throw on the run, finds Encarnacion at the 20-yard line and taken down there to gain of 7, and it'll be a 2nd down and 3.
Looks like they're going to take a yard away. Only give him 6 on that, Todd.
Moved it to the 21-yard line at left hash, so 2nd down, 4 to go. They need to move the football to the Nashoba 17 for a 1st down. 10:40 and counting here in quarter number 2. Leominster going right to left. Encarnacion and Martin in the backfield with Lopez in a 2-back set. 3 receivers in the formation, 2 wide right. Double fake, then the give on the delay to Martin. And Martin leans forward maybe to that 20-yard line, maybe gains half to a yard, and it'll be 3rd down and a little bit shorter.
Yeah, a little different look there with Ricky in the backfield. Usually he's in the slot or spread out wide, but mixing and matching these offensive formations, giving the Wolves a little different look.
Shotgun set, 3 receivers in the formation, 2 backs in the backfield once again. Double fake, 3 defenders. Lopez rolls right, throws underneath, finds Encarnacion, who gets a block, cuts across the 10, sideline at the 5, into the end zone for a Blue Devil touchdown. An
about the
18-yard touchdown strike.
Give him a 20-yarder right there, pitch and catch. Nice job. Running a different play out of the same formation, out of the same set. Completely different look off the snap of the ball. Nice job offense.
And Encarnacion ran that shallow drag route. Bill Thomas went to the left, drags across the formation, ends up to the right, and Lopez bought enough time to find him on the run.
He's got enough speed in his legs to outrun those defensive linemen. Once he turns that corner, gets faced back downfield, picks out his receiver and hits him on the run. Nice job.
Aguilar holds for Thompson, kicking with the wind at his back toward Morton Street. The ball is down, the kick is up and through, and back up the field come the teams. 9:53 to play here in the second quarter. Leominster doubles their lead. It's Leominster 14 and Nashoba nothing. Kate, you're back at HQ and you've got a drive summary.
I have a drive summary for both of you. Yes, obviously highlighted by that 20-yard touchdown reception to Encarnacion, but the drive itself, 3 plays covering 1 minute, 27 total yards, and again, that 20-yard touchdown reception is the highlight to that drive.
Encarnacion was all over the Wolves on defense in that prior series, led to that block punt. He gets paid off with a 20-yard touchdown reception.
Coming out of the backfield, no less, Bill Thomas, which is, again, something we've seen a little bit here and there. And, again, it's the weapons thing.
Right. And it wasn't
you can move your weapons around. It becomes a shell game.
Not really a screen pass, but you wait for those linebackers to clear out with worried about the wide receivers crossing. And nobody within 5 yards of Ricky, and he did a good job putting it away and headed for the corner.
How many of them can you follow? That's the question. Delmar Wright on the approach with the kick with the right foot this time. Pulls it toward the left sideline, and it crosses. The flags are out. That's a legal procedure against the kicking team.
Have to see what the Wolves decide to do here. I think they could take it. Is it the 35, Todd? They penalize from
or
the
they could
spot.
take the penalty and go with the re-kick.
Go for a re-kick. Trying to see where they're going to place the ball here. I think you're going to put it on 35. Going to be the line of scrimmage. Wolves are going to take the ball right there on that out-of-bounds penalty off the kickoff.
And so it'll be 1st and 10. Ball at the Wolf 35 at left hash. Guthrie in a shotgun set. 3 receivers tight to the boundary. Now a man shifts in motion. Will set up as a block coming out of the backfield. Quick handoff across the 35 down to the 37-yard line. Nice run on the play there. Giorgio Diodomenico on the carry.
Josh Cormier in on the tackle. Nice job playing a linebacker spot tonight. Looks like an inside linebacker.
Guthrie gets the signal, now comes back to his team. They check the play sheet, and it's a shotgun set. 2 receivers left of the formation. Give it again to Diodomenico. The defense sought it. Xavier Cora, the blitzing linebacker. In and down he goes.
Where do I go? I got nowhere to go. The Cora made sure of that. Nice job right there off the edge.
9:05 and counting here in the second quarter. 14-0 Leominster's lead, and the defense continues to hold strong.
You know, we talk about senior. Might be worth mentioning, Cora's only a sophomore.
That is correct. 3rd down and 8. They need their own 45 for a reset of the sticks. Man checks in motion for Guthrie. It's Kufler. They fake the give to him. Guthrie's back to pass. Got a little time. Now he rolls out toward the boundary, and he will just chuck that one past the line of scrimmage. He brought Logan Arce, the defensive tackle, on the run with him all the way to the sideline and finally said, okay, there's nobody there. Coverage sack. That one gets thrown out of play.
No outrunning him. There was no turning that corner, Todd.
Nope, not going there. And so it brings up a 4th down and 8, ball at their own 37-yard line at left hash. Punt formation here. McKillop stands back at his own 26-yard line to punt. He'll be punting into the wind. Good snap. Just got the kick away. Armashinga was with the pressure once again. Ball checks up almost immediately at the Blue Devil 35. Rolls across to the 34.5 yard line. And that's where Leominster gets the football. 1st and 10, their own 34.5 going right to left.
About a 29-yard punt there. Flipped the field a little bit, but Blue Devils still in really good field possession. I don't think any of their drives have started beyond this type of field position, somewhere around the 30 or closer to midfield, where the Blue Devils have set up camp for offensive prowess tonight, and we'll have to see what they can do with this field position.
Bill Thomas, let's talk hard-working player here of the first half. Who stood out to you thus far?
Well, I tell you, Lopez is playing a great game with the field conditions and facing a tough defense. I like the way he's playing with his head on his shoulders. Good first quarter for him.
Ricky Encarnacion gets the 1st down handoff, takes it up the right hash, drags a couple of defenders with him across the Leominster 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Is there anything Ricky Encarnacion can't do?
Well, I was going to say, we've called his name, I think, every play here in this second quarter, and he's really establishing himself, his presence in this game.
Gain of 9. Lopez, the snap, goes to Drinkwater on the wide receiver screen at the wide left, and that was a question of when did you want to go down, and Guthrie will trip him up for a loss on the play.
Nice job staying with him there. Drinkwater putting a couple of moves in, throwing a shoulder here and there, but the defense stayed right with him.
Short loss, got it back close to the line. It's 3rd and about 1.5 yards. Leominster needs their own 44-yard line for the 1st down, passing the 7.5-minute mark here in the second quarter with a 14-0 advantage.
I'll have to see if Blue Devils play it close to the vest here or they go for a big play strike on this 3rd and short.
Tight formation here with just Aguilar wide to the right. Out of the gun, the give was immediately for Martin. Defender was sliding down Martin, but he couldn't run out of the grasp. Ben Sylvester, the linebacker, got to him and held on for dear life.
You know, we were speculating, Todd, whether he was going to play tonight. We noticed he was not in the starting offensive lineup. He's usually a two-way player, running back on offense, but haven't seen him on the offensive side of things tonight, only playing defense and special teams.
Brings up a fourth down and about 4 to go. Leominster snapping at their own 40, needs their own 44 for a first, and Delmar Wright stands back in punt formation for what I believe is the first time this season, and now a timeout is spent. Timeout, Nashoba.
I'm counting bodies. I think Nashoba had 12 players on the field, Todd. They were going to get called for too many men on the field right there. Would have been a Leominster first down.
So Coach LeBlanc spends the timeout to avoid any flags. 6:35 to play here in the second quarter. Leominster facing a 4th down and 4 at their own 40-yard line, needing their own 44 and looking like they're in punt formation.
And it looks like that they might be changing their mind right here, Todd.
Yeah, there was a personnel change there.
And we'll have to see. I'm looking for Lopez here on the sideline. I think he's out there in that huddle. They might be going for this on 4th down.
Can you imagine if you spent a timeout and your coach Andy LeBlanc and you get beat on a 4th and 4?
We'll have to see what happens here. They might go out there with some barking, but they are putting the offense back on the field, Todd.
Indeed they are.
You know, and it makes me wonder, and I don't want to speculate, but knowing how important Newton is to this offense, he's on the sideline in this play. He's got to be nursing some type of injury tonight.
Coming out of the timeout, there's some personnel problems. Leominster sets up a diamond formation here, wide to the left and tight to the boundary.
So there's a little
Lopez, empty backfield with the 5 receivers wide. Swings it out to Encarnacion on 4th and 4. Complete. Encarnacion across the 40, reaches toward the 45, and he got a horrible spot as they mark him out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
Apparently he stepped out of bounds right there while he was dancing.
A lot of bodies there, Bill Thomas, but that is a tough spot.
And that's trying to, obviously the flags are on the other side of the field, looking at the lines. Oh, now they're moving all around.
And
but
Bob Botsey says it's going the other way. Turnover on downs. And the Nashoba defense, something that they have done over and over and over again, they stand on downs again.
Two drives in a row right there. They got the turnover on downs. But, yeah, a lot going on here in the sideline. Couldn't really see the spot. Ricky reaching out with the ball. But Fisher was right there on the sideline. It's hard to question that.
6:28 to play in the second quarter, and Nashoba, the beneficiary of great defensive stop, they turn over the ball to their offense on the Leominster half of midfield.
Best
First and 10,
field position
their own the Leominster 43 at right hash. The snap and the little give to Kufler in the backfield, but sniffed out by Jared Viola, who came charging up from his safety spot, sniffed that one out and took it down. They ran that play last week against Longmeadow with great success on multiple times, Bill Thomas. They saw that one on tape.
Yeah, but they didn't have Viola out there sealing off the corner on defense. Longmeadow didn't, but nice one-on-one tackle. You talk about a form tackle, wrap them up, twist them around, and get them on the ground.
And in the open field.
Open field, one-on-one, pure tackle right there, pure tackle, no help.
2nd down and 15, ball back at the Leominster 47-yard line. The give this time is for Sylvester, gets a head start, and there is a collision. Saw heads and bodies, everyone gets locked up on the play. Keegan Armashinga, who had the punt block earlier, came up and made first contact with Sylvester, now out on both sides of the football, Bill Thomas.
Keenan playing a linebacker spot. First one to the ball, got a little bit of help, no gain. Big 3rd down play here for the Wolves. This best starting field position is not turning out so good for them. Going in the wrong direction.
Drive going left to right's been doing more right than left. 3rd down and long, now 3rd and 14. Guthrie with the shotgun snap, in traffic, rolls left and throws, an open receiver and in and out of the hands, incomplete. It was Kufler again who could not reel it in.
Yeah, a lot going on right there, and Guthrie under a lot of pressure, in traffic, close to crossing the line of scrimmage right there, found a way to get the ball downfield. A little long for his intended receiver, Kufler.
Defensive success turns into offensive futility for the Wolves. 4th down and long at the Leominster 47-yard line. McKellop stands in punt formation at the Wolf 41. Knee-high snap, fielded by McCullough. Got the foot into it. It's wobbling in a Leominster direction. It will hit the ground and be tapped down at the 37-yard line. Bill Thomas, you saw that one get grabbed by the wind and was going in a negative direction.
Yeah, and that only ends up with a 10-yard net. Going to set the Blue Devils up in pretty good field position, about their own 38, 39-yard line.
Tonight's broadcast of high school football and RFM audio is rebroadcast via our partners at 95.1 FM, WLPZ, LPFM. Set your dial to 95.1 FM for a weekly encore presentation of tonight's complete broadcast beginning each Saturday at noon. And while you're there, enjoy the great information, education, and entertainment for members of the community by members of the community on Leominster's owned and operated 95.1 FM WLPZ. On 1st and 10, Lopez back to pass, slant coming out of the left. It's Encarnacion across midfield, now into the open field. Cuts back to the left, cross the hash, then to the numbers. Slowed up a little bit. The rest of the defense will clean it up, but Encarnacion with a Lopez pitch and catch advances the ball to the Wolf 24-yard line on a gain of 38.
Tough hit right there at the end too. Looks like almost looked like a headshot, but no flag. Ricky did a good job holding on to that ball, spinning for extra yards. Nice senior move right there. Securing that ball, fighting for everything he can get.
4:20 and counting to play before halftime. 14-0 Leominster's advantage, and on a drive. 1st and 10 at the Wolf 24, going right to left. High snap fielded by Lopez. Give it to Braden Martin. Takes it right up the hash. Cross the 25 and toward the 23-yard line. Gains 3. 2nd down and 7.
And that's a generous 3, Todd. Let's take one way at the spot. Not a very good spot, but only giving him 2.
2nd down and 8 to go. They mark the ball at the 23-yard line.
Now they took another one away. It's a 2nd and 9.
That stick keeps moving back, as the case may be. We can say officially,
he ends up with a yard when it's all said and done, Kate.
The nose of the ball is at the 23-yard line at left hash. Shotgun spread, 3 receivers in the formation. 2 tight to the boundary left. Lopez back to pass, push toward that boundary. Hits Drinkwater, cuts back toward the numbers, and Drinkwater fighting for extra yards, gave up the football, and it's Nashoba football. A fumble for Caden Drinkwater. He was trying to make a play, got spun around, and out came the football, and up came with it Giorgio Diadomenico with the recovery for the Wolves.
Yeah, and I think that's just inexperience, Todd. You know, he wants everything he can get, but the proverbial loaf of bread out there getting swung around on his forearm. And Wolves did a good job swarming to the ball, knocking it out of his hands and recovering it before it gets knocked out of bounds over here on the near sideline.
3:23 and counting to play here in the second quarter, and the Nashoba offense is back on the field after another great defensive play. They chase 14. Leominster up 14-0 here. Guthrie out of a gun. Back to pass. Had blitz in both directions, and he'll just fire it at the feet of Kufler, who was coming across the formation. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, a lot of pressure right there. Linebackers. Looks like 44 in on it. Get some quick name here. Josh Cormier. 11, I think, was in there with a little bit of help from his left cornerback.
Steve Diaz.
They were about 4 Blue Devils in there chasing Guthrie and pretty much threw it at the feet of his intended receiver.
2nd and 10 at the Wolf 22-yard line at right hash. Shotgun spread. 2 receivers in the formation. The give coming out of the backfield looked like Sylvester, but he got swallowed up quickly on the play. Check it, it's Diadomenico with the carry. Back to the line of scrimmage and no more. 3rd down and 10.
Delmar Wright, first one on the spot right there. Helped out once again by Steven Diaz. And trying to see who else was in on that. But I tell you, Blue Devils are almost in the huddle. Coming out of the play, out of the snap count with the play, I think. And once again, this drive going nowhere for the Wolves.
Shotgun formation for Guthrie on 3rd and 10 to zone 22 at right hash. 3 receivers wide to the left, and I believe Armashinga got a little too excited and danced into the neutral zone. He did. It's an offside penalty signaled against Leominster. 5 yards, and it'll be 3rd down and a short 5.
Looked like Keegan had his eyes on that quarterback. He was coming in hot from a corner blitz. The outside linebacker area, actually, but sneaking up on the line of scrimmage. Putting all the pressure they can on Guthrie.
Umpire walks the football across the 25 to the Wolf 27-yard line, where they'll put the football down at right hash. 3rd down Looks like 6. They need their own 33. Guthrie, option, takes it out to the left. He will option it out for Domenico, who goes head of steam past 2 defenders, cross the 35, and is taken down around the 32-yard line. But there is a flag out on the play, and Logan Arce is pointing back in the direction of the Nashoba offense.
And he's probably the one that got blocked from the backside and saw that flag come out towards the pile. We'll have to see.
They come up with holding. It's a 10-yard penalty signaled against the Wolves. It'll be 3rd down still, but now 3rd and long.
And I'm sure Ossie felt he was going to make that tackle, and he knew he got held, just making sure the officials saw it. That's one of the best offensive plays all night for the Wolves, and leading to a big first down. It's all wiped out.
3rd down and 15. Ball back across the 20 at the 17-yard line. They need their own 33-ish for a first down. They went from what would have been 3rd down and about a yard, maybe a yard and a half, to 3rd down and 15. Man checks in motion here. It's Kufler. Guthrie fakes left, now comes to Kufler, who was the motion man, right of the formation. In the open field, finds Encarnacion as he's met at the 25-yard line and taken down. Gains back some of the negative yardage back across the original line of scrimmage to the 25-yard line at Leominster. Stops the clock. 97 seconds before halftime. 14-0 Leominster's advantage.
Steven Diaz in on that. Diaz really active here from his left cornerback, outside linebacker, whatever he's setting up, putting a lot of pressure on the running game, and doing a great job out there from his left side position on defense.
Coming up at the half, it's homecoming here at Doyle Field tonight. And here on RFM, that means you get the bands. We've got the bands coming up here on RFM Audio and Leominster TV. Stay tuned for that coming up at the half. And then Kate Robbins is standing by at RFM HQ. She's got a full stat recap from half number 1, plus scores from around the region tonight on a busy night of high school football all across the Central Mass region. We'll have that information for you. Kate's got your scores. Coming up at the half, we'll have our impact player, mid-game adjustments, and we will hand out the homecoming court as well. All of that is coming up at the half here on RFM Audio. Fourth down and 8 is the official mark. Snapping their own 25-yard line. McCullough back in punt formation at his own 13-yard line. Got a good snap and a good punt away. Foot right on the tip of the football. It hops at the 45 and takes a Nashoba bounce to midfield, where it will check up for a Leominster. First down and 10 at the 50-yard line. Punt goes about 26 yards.
Once again, good field position for the Blue Devils right at midfield. Have to see if they can't get something out of this. They called a timeout there to try to preserve clock before that punt. Got 1:29 to work with. Good spot here for Lopez to see what he can get offensively at this 2-minute drill.
First and 10 for the Blue Devils on their side of midfield. Shotgun set, trips wide to the left of the formation. Good snap for Lopez. 5-step set. Now he's flush. Kelly giving chase at the backside. Lopez will throw. It's juggled, but reeled in by Ricky Encarnacion across the 20 and out of bounds at the Nashoba 15-yard line. Encarnacion did not get an initial handle on it. He juggled it, secured it, and then went out at the boundary. And Kufler is frustrated. He was out in pass coverage. It's a 36-yard pitching catch. Lopez to Encarnacion.
Talk about frustrated, but what a set of hands on Encarnacion there. Juggling it, defender coming in on him. Good job watching to secure the catch as he's heading out of bounds. Plus 35 on the stat sheet.
Great concentration by Encarnacion on that one. First and 10 at the Nashoba 15-yard line at left hash. Encarnacion is with Lopez in the backfield and Martin. All-out blitz. Lopez hit as he throws in and out of the hands of Diaz and intercepted. Coming back from left to right, it is Mike Guthrie, the safety there with the interception and the return across the 15 to the Nashoba 17-yard line. It's great defensive pressure, forces Lopez off his game, hit him as he throws. Diaz had a shot at it. It went through his fingers and into the hands of Guthrie.
But the key there, I think, was the pressure. Pass was a little late, a little bit behind Diaz, and so what happens, you get a deflection, comes down in one of those defenders' hands. Everybody's tight near the goal line. Turnover, that's 3 drives in a row that the Wolves have got the offense back on the field, either turnover on downs or on a turnover.
First and 10 at their own 17-yard line, 1:12 before halftime. 14-0 Leominster's advantage, but Nashoba has proven one thing about Leominster that we didn't know through the first 2 weeks. They're human. On 1st and 10, shotgun set, trips out to the right. Guthrie flips it in the backfield for Sylvester. Defensive pursuit, and Sylvester is taken down back at the 10-yard line. It's a loss of 7 on the play, and great pursuit up front by the Leominster defense.
Yeah, it's just a cast of characters right there. Defense has really come to play. And of note, Todd, we had 26, what's his name, Sylvester listed as a starter, but first actually seen on offense tonight.
And the ball goes back to the Nashoba 10-yard line. It will be 2nd down and long. Ruled 2nd and 16, 30 seconds before halftime. Standard I formation this time, under center. Guthrie gives it to the back man, dotting the I across the 10, advance it to the 12-yard line. Looks to me to have been, it was Diodomenico on the carry, dotting that I.
Yeah, and it looks like the Wolves are just going to be happy to have stymied the Blue Devils these last 2 drives, and only being down by 14. I think that's going to be a moral victory here, as the Blue Devils really dominated this second quarter.
Nobody showing any advance.
Nope.
Teams start heading toward the tunnel. 000s on the board, and we've got halftime on homecoming week 3 action here on RFM Audio. Leominster on top of Nashoba, 14-0 at the half. But Bill Thomas, maybe more than the 14 points. The headline of the first half is miscues, physical pressure up front, all the things we thought Nashoba would do, and they're working right now in this first half.
And that's not leave out a real important stat, Todd. Turnovers, fumble over here on that wide receiver catch, a tip ball on another pass play led to 2 turnovers. Turnover on downs, 2 in a row down here in the second quarter. The Wolves defense really stood up there in that second quarter to limit the damage and keep this to only a 14-point deficit at halftime. Unfortunately, defense doesn't score you points unless you can bring it all the way back to the house. And the Wolves offense have done nothing up to this point.
Halftime score here at Doyle Field in Leominster. Leominster on top of Nashoba, 14-0 at the halftime break. The setup begins for homecoming festivities. We'll have a performance from the Leominster High School marching bands. The presentation of the homecoming courts all coming up down on the field. As well, by the way, as Kate Robbins back at our studio with first half stats and scores from around the region, our impact player and mid-game adjustments. All that to come as we continue. Once again, our halftime score. Leominster 14 and Nashoba nothing. A break and we're back with more. This is high school football on RFM Audio.
I'll never forget the day I decided to go out for the football team. Mr. Banks, the JV football coach and my history teacher, asked me to stay after class. I thought I was in trouble. He said, "Hey, Darius, have you thought about going out for football? I think you'd be great." Fact is, I never played football. Fact is, I never had anyone tell me I'd be great at something. So, with no experience at all, I signed up. And a week later, I padded up and was running drills on the field. I never was great, but playing high school sports was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I was accepted by my teammates, and I learned that when someone believes in you, you can believe in yourself.
Encourage a student you know to take part in a high school sport. This message presented by the MIAA and the Massachusetts Secondary Schools Athletic Directors Association.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse?
Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam! Ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Is there a student athlete at your school that deserves recognition? someone who's constantly representing your school as a good citizen and should be acknowledged. Now is your chance to nominate a student athlete for the MIAA Student Athlete of the Month Award. This award is presented monthly to 2 student athletes who display excellence in the areas of academics, athletics, and community service. Students in grades 9 through 12 who attend MIAA member schools are eligible to receive the award. Visit the MIAA website at miaa.net to nominate a student athlete today. The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, building the future through educational athletics.
This is Bob Sosi, the voice of New England football, for the best high school football action in North Central Mass, featuring our award-winning broadcast team of Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, and Kate Robbins. Keep it right here.
Time at historic Doyle Field in Leominster, a homecoming week 3 action. Leominster on top of Nashoba 14-0 at the half. And what a first half of action we have been treated to here. Another fantastic first half here at Doyle Field tonight. We've got the homecoming king, queen, and court. We also have a performance from the Leominster High School Marching Band coming up. All that plus Kate's first half stat recap and scores from around the region. All that to look forward to here on the half on RFM Audio and with our partners at Leominster TV. Todd Robbins with Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins back at RFM HQ. Bradley Bedard here for Leominster TV, bringing you all the pictures here tonight as well. And what has been a fantastic first half of action, a 14-0 Leominster advantage, and Leominster finally getting challenged out there on the field here in week 3, where they are getting forced to modify and adapt, as the Bill Thomas phrase may go. And with that, we will have more on the first half of action coming up in a moment. But first, it's the Leominster High School Marching Band under the direction of Bob Bergeron. Some minor technical difficulties out on the field with some of the electronic equipment supporting this halftime show, so we'll get back to that in a matter of moments. Kate Robbins, you're back at RFM HQ. Why don't you give us some of the scores from around the region while they sort out the technical difficulties here?
All right, we'll do a quick whip around the region, and you cut me off as soon as they get going. Hopefully,
sounds like a deal.
In the background. Halftime right now, West Boylston and BVT, nothing at the half. Monty Tech right now on top of Gardner, 12-7 in the first. End of 1, St. Paul and Assabet knotted at 14. Hudson on top of Worcester Tech, 14-8 in the first. At the end of the first, Clinton on top of Bay Path right now. St. Bernard's up 42-0 in the third quarter out at the Bernardian Bowl. Grafton on top of South 18-0 in the third. Wachusett on top of the Minnechaug 21-0 in the second quarter. And right now out at Doyle Field, we've got a 14-0 score. Nothing coming out of Fitchburg yet, but I see the band getting ready.
Indeed they are. Kate Robbins, thank you so much. We'll have more scores coming up from around the region. I know our friends at FATV have the action tonight. Fitchburg and Shepherd Hill, Leominster's opponent for week 4 action we'll have for you here on RFM Audio. But first, the homecoming performance of the Leominster High School Marching Band. It's the Leominster High School Marching Band here on RFM Audio. We're going to swing it back to RFM HQ. Kate Robbins standing by. She's got more scores from around the region. And our first half stats, Leominster on top of Nashoba, 14-0 at the half. Kate, take it away.
So I was able to get the telepathy between you and I when you said FATV has our partners. That was, dearest wife of mine, please go and stream the game. I have a score now. So I did pick up what you were putting down, and you can tell we're married because I just looked in. I said, that's my husband telling me, hey, silly, go turn the game on. It is 2013 right now, Shepherd Hill on top of Fitchburg with 51 seconds remaining in the first half. So I was picking up what you were putting down, sweetheart.
That's why we make one of the best teams. And Bill Thomas, all part of this family here on RFM.
That's right. All righty, let's take a look at our first half stats, if that's all right, now that I'm actually
it's all you.
I'm with it. Here we go. All right, team totals first for Leominster, 242 total yards of offense, 198 of those coming courtesy of their passing game, 44 coming from their ground game in 29 plays on offense. They do, however, and Bill Thomas mentioned this already, have 2 turnovers on the game. That is the offensive side of the ball. Billy Thomas, listen to these offensive stats for Nashoba because it's going to highlight just how good Leominster's defense has been tonight. They have netted 5 total yards on offense when everything is said and done. 18 plays. They don't have any turnovers, but they've got turnovers on downs and obviously have punted quite a bit. Leominster's defense tonight has been prolific. Notable individual statistics right now, Nashoba's Mike Guthrie, 1 for 5 passing. So that's kind of the only notable on that side of the ball. If we take a look on Leominster's side of the ball, their rushing attack right now, Braden Martin having a night. 6 rushes, 27 yards. He's averaging 4.5 yards per carry. Makai Newton, Xavier Cora, and Ricky Encarnacion all have 1 rush to their name as well. Now for the aerial attack, it's been Ricky Encarnacion and Osiris Lopez all night. Lopez is 14 of 17. He's completed 82% of his passes for 198 yards. He's averaging 14.1 yards per pitch and catch. His long has been for 42 yards. Ricky Encarnacion has 7 receptions for 151 yards receiving. He's averaging 21.6 yards per reception. Brian Aguilar has 1 reception. Drinkwater has 3 receptions for 20 yards. Braden Martin also has a reception, as does Makai Newton. And right now, that is the name of the game. Penalties for Leominster also a problem. 6 total penalties, and they are for 45 yards total thus far. Those 2 turnovers, though, as Billy mentioned, those are a problem.
Indeed they are, Kate. Those are your first half stats and scores from around the region. Kate Robbins back at RFM HQ. Kate, we appreciate it as always. And, of course, you want to stay tuned post-game. We'll have updates from Kate throughout, of course, the second half of action. But we have the most comprehensive Central Mass scoreboard as Kate aggregates all of that social media reporting and is able to bring us that post-game scoreboard coming up at the conclusion of this one. So reporting here on homecoming festivities here at Doyle Field tonight, none. Not sure what happened, Bill Thomas. We were told it was homecoming night. Dick Tucker was out here warming up the PA, making sure he could rove with the microphone, and
maybe it's after game festivities.
Perhaps. Hey, we'll still be here for postgame.
We'll bring it to you if it happens.
If it happens, we'll be here for it.
We'll be here all night. Well, maybe not all night.
Nothing at this time. So with that, we had a great performance from Bob Bergeron and Leominster High School Marching Band, so we do appreciate that. And it's time now to look back at half number 1 action. Thanks to our partners at WLPZ 95.1 FM as they bring us the impact play of the first half. So, Bill Thomas, who or what in your mind provided the impact play of the first half?
Well, electrifyingly, the overall player, Ricky Encarnacion. I don't know which play to pick out, Todd.
He is electrifying.
He is. I mean, he was. From the middle of the first quarter on, every play, I think, offensively and defensively, he was in on. It felt like his first touchdown reception kind of set the tone. That crossing pattern, beat the defense to the corner. We'll go with that. But it's hard to pick out any one play. He's had a number of great catches and been all over the field on defense. But I'll give him that first touchdown passing catch reception as the play of the game up to this point.
He certainly has had a great first half. If you're enjoying tonight's action, you can hear an encore presentation of every game broadcast in its entirety, Saturdays at noon, on Leominster's owned and operated 95.1 FM WLPZ.
What do you think, Todd? What place, let me get your opinion real quick. What play stands out to you in the first half?
I got to say, maybe just for something different, the turnovers on Leominster's side, because we haven't seen anything, they're going to stand out in my mind because we haven't seen that kind of inefficiency offensively in the first half. It's the kind of test and then the kind of need to be resilient to overcome that a young signal caller and some young receivers along with some senior leadership needed that kind of test. They bounce back. We'll see how they bounce here in the second half as well. As we get ready for second half action, ball on the tee, 40-yard line at our left. Delmar right swings the left leg. Second half is underway from historic Doyle Field. Ball will be returned from the Wolf 25-yard line, across the 30-35. They shed some bodies in down around the 38-yard line. Go with a return of about 8 on the play there, Bill Thomas, and it looked like to me Matt Cahill on the return for Nashoba. Bill Thomas, how about your mid-game adjustments as we get set to see Mike Guthrie and company set their line? What are you looking at? If you were on the Nashoba Wolves side of things, where are your mid-game adjustments?
Well, I've got to find a way to have more than net 5 yards over 2 quarters. I didn't catch the first down stat. Call this play, Todd. I'll give you the rest of my thought.
Back to pass, it's Guthrie, then the quick handoff, and it was sniffed out by the defense quickly, and down goes Kiefler, by the way, back to the 30-yard line. Thank the great folks here in the box passing that note to us as we got the correction. Kiefler, the pronunciation on number 1, Tom Kiefler.
So, as I was saying, the Wolves got to find a way and wipe out that 5 yards from first half because now they just lost 7, 0 offensive yards.
Negative 2 yards of offense for the night.
They got to find a way to score and then not have much success. Most of their operations been on their own side of the 50.
And the give this time on second down and long. Comes with a little counter action across the 35 and stretched toward the 40. It's Ben Sylvester.
Have to see if it is getting off.
Yeah, down around the 41-yard line.
You know, we expected him to be in the starting lineup. He was part of the depth chart at running back. He's been playing mainly defense. A couple of offensive plays at the end of that first half, but here he is starting the second half for the Wolves.
A little over a minute gone by here in quarter number 3, 14-0. Leominster on top of Nashoba, and already Nashoba faces a third down and long. Ball at their own 41-yard line, middle of the field, going right to left here in the third quarter. Standard I formation, Diadomenico dots. There was motion at the front of the line, and it looked like might have been left guard Matt Curran who got a head start.
53 maybe?
Yep, Matt Curran, left guard.
Continue my thought, Todd. Blue Devils right there, perfect example, although they didn't commit that penalty. I'm sure emphasis was on let's clean up the penalty side and let's just hold on to the ball a little better. We probably cost ourselves 2 touchdowns in that first half on turnovers and penalties. It got us out of good field position. So, you know, they've been very successful on offense. The fact that Encarnacion has about 130 all-purpose yards, but got to clean it up.
3rd and 13 back at their own 34. Flag goes out on the play. Guthrie with the option out to the left, tiptoes into the boundary and then gets popped out of play around the 43, but a flag got thrown back toward the point of attack.
Yeah, they're not even marking a line of scrimmage. Something back towards the line of scrimmage, and it's going to go against the Wolves.
Holding signaled by Bob Bonsi against Nashoba. It'll be a 10-yard penalty from the 35. Move that back to the 25, and it'll be 3rd down and extremely long.
Yeah, it's going to cost them 11 yards from the line of scrimmage, and going to be 3rd and, let me do some quick math, 10, 20, 23.
And right on the field, Nashoba going for it. Here on 3rd down and long, they're not wasting any time to get this 3rd down play off. Guthrie goes right to his set, 2 receivers wide to the right. Snap, drops back to pass, throws against the grain. Flag is out, pass is incomplete. Ben Sylvester out of the backfield on the screen was the intended receiver. The flag was thrown toward the 20-yard line from the near sideline.
That was a quick flag and thrown right in the area where the pass was intended. We got some, I don't know if we had any pass interference or what they're calling here. It's odd place for a penalty in that type of play. It's going against the, it's a hold against the Wolves.
Yeah, it is holding against Nashoba. Leominster declines. They take the down. It is ruled incomplete, and it's 4th down and a country mile, and it will be a punt for Coach Andy LeBlanc's Wolves.
Yeah, 4th and forever. The Wolves have been getting 25 yards or so on the field position gain on punts here, so Blue Devils going to set up in great field position near midfield or better.
McCallum stands back at his own 13-yard line to receive the snap to punt. Got it away just barely. Ball hops at the Leominster 49-yard line. Encarnacion fields it on the 1-hop. Now trying to stretch. There's a lot of Wolves. He faces the Wolf Pack down, and he will get it back to the point where the ball hopped, the Leominster 49-yard line. 1st and 10, Blue Devils 49, going left to right.
Picked up about 10 on that return. Good job getting it back towards midfield. Best punt of the night for the Wolves special teams on punt. And still Blue Devils setting up in great field position here near midfield.
Change of possession. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is high school football on RFM.
You're listening live to Rivalry Family Media, streaming audio on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. For those enjoying our encore presentation, you're listening to our partners, 95.1 FM, WLPZ Low Power FM, Leominster.
On 1st down and 10, Braden Martin gets the handoff. Take it out to the right of the formation. Got midfield 45. Taken down at the Wolf 44. Leominster working quickly right back to the line. And procedure is called. Maybe 2 plays called in the huddle there. They went quick and somebody flinched.
Cost them 5 yards.
So instead of 2nd and 3, it will now go back to 2nd and 8. Back at the Wolf 49-yard line at right hash. 9:08 and counting to play here in the 3rd quarter. Leominster's 14 first half points still standing for their lead.
Defense doing all the work tonight for the Blue Devils. Stymieing the Wolves offense completely.
2nd down and 8. The Wolves 49 at right hash. Shotgun set, 3 receivers in the formation. Back to pass, it's Lopez. Chooses the slot, complete to Encarnacion. Past the first defender, then the second, cross the 40, spun down to the 37-yard line, and another great pitch and catch. Lopez to Encarnacion, nets 12, and a Leominster 1st down.
Yeah, and I tell you, Ricky made himself small and thin right there, and somehow he squeezed between 2 defenders, pick up an extra 5 yards right there. Nice move. Great quickness by Ricky Encarnacion.
Lopez back to pass on 1st and 10. Floats a wobbler downfield. Aguilar comes back. There is a juggle. There's a conversation, and it is an interception. Jax Chrisman, the linebacker, took it away from Brian Aguilar.
Looked like Aguilar was going to possess that, but once again, a 50-50 ball, and just lost out on the hand fight right there. Turns into another turnover.
And Coach Devin Gates pleads his case to the back judge, and he just got himself a 15-yard flag for unsportsmanlike conduct.
And you know he's pleading for pass interference right there, and it sure looked like Aguilar was getting mugged while that ball was in the air. The Wolves defender ended up with position out of that, but Coach Gates not happy about how that play turned out.
Looked like 2 players battling for the football face up, Bill Thomas. Couldn't see the contact beforehand, but when they were battling face up, Chrisman just wanted the ball more, and he took it away from Aguilar.
Yeah, in the end, he ended up with the ball. You know, a lot of hand fighting, hand checking going on prior to the ball arriving to its destination. You know, it's a judgment call a lot of times. Those 50-50 balls, whoever comes down with it, usually they're going to let it go.
Indeed they are. So they enforce the 15-yard personal foul. Now the sticks are not lined up here. Meanwhile, Nashoba has just snapped the football. Pass is thrown, Guthrie for Duham, the tight end. Open field hit. Leominster believes they've got the ball back. To the bottom of the pile, there's a scrum. The officials had better get control of this situation.
Yeah, and there's no indication.
Players are going to start throwing themselves around. Officials are peeling bodies, still no signal as of yet. Leominster certainly trying to buy it. Now Nashoba gets into the auction, and now here comes the back judge into the play on the wrong side of the line, and he says, well, it's still Nashoba football.
After all that, and you know, I tend to believe that might have been a fumble. There was no indication down by contact till the officials continued unpiling everybody there. And I'll tell you, big first hit right there that led to that.
They've
short gain.
set up the line, Bill Thomas, but I'm not even sure that original line
I don't
of
even know
scrimmage
where
is
they
the correct
were.
mark.
Yeah, I know it. I'm not sure where that started. I didn't get a good look at it.
At the 25-yard line.
They gave him 3.
Gains 3 on the pass. At the 28-yard line is where we are. They need the Wolf 34 for a first down. Guthrie, handoff, trying to stretch the play out to the edge. It's Sylvester, and Sylvester is met by Steve Diaz, who takes him down for no gain on the play.
Big one-on-one tackle. Calling Diaz's name a lot on defense tonight. Playing a great job out on the edge.
Actually angled him for a loss. Lost a couple back to the theoretical original line of scrimmage, which puts the ball back across the 25 at the 24-yard line. 3rd down and 10. They need their own 34 for a first down.
Once again, Blue Devils taking away any momentum the Wolves offense has. Plus yards, lead to minus yards, back and forth. You talked about it. It's like being in quicksand. You know, you're spinning your wheels, but you're not going anywhere.
7 minutes and counting left here in the 3rd quarter. Leominster with the 14-0 lead, and Nashoba looking for a spark. And the Blue Devils flinch up front. John Escabi, the defensive end, tried to jump the snap count, violated the neutral zone, blows the play dead. It's offsides. It'll be a 5-yard penalty.
And he'll come over and have a little conversation with the coach. No, he was fine until he was offside. Now he's not playing defense for this play.
I was going to say, Escabi, great senior
Delmar
leader.
Wright
He has been
in.
kind of the centerpiece on both lines, and again, just maybe got a little too enthusiastic there.
He was headed into the Wolves' backfield on that snap. Had his eyes on the quarterback or whoever was possessing the football.
So the ball moved up to the 29, 3rd down and 5. They need their own 34 for a first as Nashoba's drive continues from right to left. Shotgun spread, 2 receivers left of the formation. Kiefler's the motion man. Guthrie the snap, rolls against the motion, throws back across his body. It's incomplete. Encarnacion there for the defensive play. Stiaran Murphy, the tight end, the intended receiver for the Wolves.
Good job by Encarnacion. Just coming around enough to bother the receiver. Just as the ball arrived, great timing by Ricky. Break brought that play up.
Brings up a 4th down and 5, and it looks like once again Nashoba will be forced to punt.
Oh, a little late. Got to get off the
Leominster,
field.
some personnel issues. McCullough to punt. Got a good snap at his own 18. Puts the right foot into it. Through the air it goes. It'll be returned by Encarnacion. Slips through a first block. Now he got right numbers. Out to the right sideline. Racing over to make a play. It's Ben Sylvester who throws out the trap. He will wrap Encarnacion and take him down at the 17-yard line. Nice run by Ricky Encarnacion, and it was all sprung right back here at the field, Bill Thomas. He got a nice block, and Encarnacion slipped up the right numbers.
Yeah, putting him at the 12, Todd. 38 and another 5, about a 43-yard return on that punt. But great job by Encarnacion, picking his spot, taking his time at that initial point of contact to break through that first wave. Getting himself downfield to the 12-yard line.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Leominster at the Nashoba 12 at right hash. Leominster goes left to right here in the 3rd. 6:06 and counting to play here in the 3rd. Encarnacion joins Martin in the backfield. Lopez calling signals, asks for the ball, looks for the slant over the middle, tried to get the back pocket of Diaz, incomplete. Great coverage by Mike Guthrie. He was all over Diaz, and they have been with each other everywhere on the field. Guthrie had the interception from Diaz right before halftime.
Yeah, and that tip ball, and you know those quick slants, Lopez is firing them in there a little bit behind his target right there, and that's what leads to those tip balls. You got to lead them, not throw behind them. Lopez will figure that out.
2nd and 10, ball at the Nashoba 12-yard line. Lopez sets up 3 receivers, 2 wide to the top of the formation. High snap, fielded it, gave it to Encarnacion, took it toward the A gap, then aborted, took it back to the left laterally, and it's line of scrimmage, no gain, 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, nothing there. Wolves right side of the defense staying home that time and corralling Encarnacion for no gain.
Given the all-out rush that is coming at this Leominster team and at quarterback Osiris Lopez, seems to me, Bill Thomas, this play is screaming for either a little play action or perhaps a little screen floated over the head. We saw it earlier, but something maybe over the middle as that front is just rushing.
Or maybe even a quarterback draw just to slow down that rush a little bit, Todd.
3rd and 10. 4 receivers in the formation, trips wide to the right. Lopez hits his back foot, looks back corner right, juggled by Encarnacion. Did he get a foot down? There's a discussion. 2 officials boxing the play. Encarnacion completed the catch, and the signal is a Leominster touchdown.
You only need 1 down in high school, and I think he got it. What a hands and what footwork right there by Ricky Encarnacion. 2 great catches where he's juggled, watched that ball in his hands, completed the process, stayed in bounds.
And the concentration, Bill Thomas, that we've seen tonight from Encarnacion with the ball in his general vicinity has been impressive. 5:12 to play here in the third quarter. 20-0 Leominster's lead on the Lopez to Encarnacion touchdown. Aguilar gets the ball down. Thompson drives it into the line, and the point after is no good. Back upfield come the teams. 5:12 to play here in the third. Still Leominster 20, Nashoba nothing. Kate Robbins is back at HQ, and she's got the scoring drive.
I do have the scoring drive. You're probably hearing music from the activity gym as well coming at you, but it is a 3-play drive. Takes 90 seconds. Covers a total of 12 yards, but it is the 12-yard touchdown reception by Ricky Encarnacion from Osiris Lopez. The extra point's no good, though. 20-0 still. Leominster on top of Nashoba. The activity gym is getting a lot of use tonight.
Well, when you are, just a shade, almost 7 weeks old at this point, you got to work on your, mobile acuity, all sorts of things.
Is he working on that Dirty Bird dance that we see the kids doing down there in the Jolly Jumper?
I hope Bill Thomas, he's got more moves than I do, I'll say that.
I'm trying to practice it up here, so I'm glad we don't have a boot camp.
40-yard line at our left. Delmar Wright on the approach. He will swing the left leg and send this one up into the Doyle Field Knight. Kiefler has to charge. Fielded at the 30. Slipped by 2 defenders. Still on his feet. He'll roll out across the numbers at the left 40 and then angled out of bounds at the Nashoba 45-yard line. Meanwhile, Bill Thomas chasing him was an urban tumbleweed.
I was wondering what that was.
Coming up the field.
I was going to say, I never saw a flag roll like that. I was trying to figure out what it was, but as it departs the field, about a 14-yard return off of that kickoff.
5:02 with the clock stopped on the change of possession here in the third. 20-0 Leominster's lead over Nashoba. And it's 1st and 10 Nashoba, their own 44-yard line at left hash, with their offense sorely looking to find their spark. Guthrie sends Kiefler in motion. Play action fake. Guthrie keeps it himself. Waits for the blocks to set up. Now leans in toward the line. Crosses the 44 and toward the 45. Works hard to gain 1. 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, nice job by the Blue Devils defense there. Right almost had him in the backfield. Finally tracked down by Xavier Corer and friends. Going to bring up about a 2nd and close to, give him a long 8. Give him 2 on that gain.
Wind has slowed a little here at Doyle Field. You can see the flag is starting to slow down just a bit. 2nd and 9 from the 45. Diadomenico gets the shotgun handoff from Guthrie. Takes it across the 45 toward the 46-yard line. Actually, a little more toward the 48. The official on the near sideline didn't give him a great spot. The official on the Nashoba sideline said, yeah, he moved well up. So move it to the 48, gain 3 on the play. 3rd down and 6 to go.
Wolves standing around waiting for the play. No sense of urgency right here either, Todd.
Check at the time and temperature.
Clock.
Coming after this play. I agree with you, Bill Thomas, but you know what? At this point, you just need momentum. Straight back I formation. Sylvester was the up man. He got the handoff. First man of the hole. Through the A-gap. Midfield 45-40. Taken down at the 39-yard line. Nice run by Ben Sylvester through the middle of the defense. Gains 13, and it's a Nashoba 1st down. 48 degrees on a Friday night, September the 23rd at 8:28 on a Friday night, September the 23rd. Great to have you along with us here on RFM Audio and Leominster TV Live as well. And with our partners in Delay, 95.1 FM WLPZ and Tucker56radio.com. Handoff went on. 1st down and 10. Inside looked like Sylvester again. He wrapped around left end, 40, and moves it up to the 35. Gains 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Good job by the Blue Devils. Defensive front 4 there, trying to see who was in. Might have been Antoine Lingo Diego. Getting some action tonight, getting his first call of the game.
Second down and 5. Give. This was Domenico. First to the hole. Cross the 35 and toward the 33-yard line he reaches. Gains 1, maybe 2. Second down and turns to 3rd and 4.
Yeah,
third down and 4 to go.
Xavier Cora in on that tackle.
Still moving the stick, trying to get it
They can't
settled.
find a good spot there. They're back and forth.
All right, they got it
They
now.
settle on 4.
3rd and 4. They need the 29 of Leominster or the 29 1/2 for a first down. And here comes Guthrie from his sideline, barking out some play indications. Domenico's in the backfield with him in the gun. 2 receivers. Kiefler is slot to the left. Wide of him is Cam Hill. Guthrie scans, asks for the ball. Gives it for Domenico, who takes it to the opposite side from the pair of receivers. Wraps it around the 35 toward the 31-yard line. Gains about 2 more. 4th down and short coming up here. Bill Thomas is maybe 2.5, 3.
Well, 3. They're going to give him only a gain of 1 right there, Todd. This is going to be a long 3. Big for a 4th down play right here for the Wolves. If they're going to generate any momentum here, 3rd quarter winding down, they need this first down right here.
Final $1:32 and counting here in the 3rd quarter. 20-0 Leominster's lead, and this play feels awfully important. 4th down and 3 to go. Guthrie looks toward his sideline. 3 receivers in the shotgun formation, wide to the left. Guthrie now barking signals behind the line. 10 seconds on the play clock.
Yeah, you
and
can see that coming.
Coach Andy LeBlanc spends the timeout.
Way too much pre-snap confusion right there, Todd.
Final minute and 11 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. 20-0 is Leominster's advantage right now here at Doyle Field. Tonight's broadcast of high school football on RFM Audio is rebroadcast in its entirety via our partners at Tucka 56 Radio. Navigate your way to live365.com and bookmark Tucka 56 Radio. That's Tucka 56 Radio for a weekly encore presentation of tonight's complete broadcast beginning each Sunday at noon, plus Wednesdays at 8 p.m., along with RFM's Coach's Corner with head coach Devin Gates. All that with our partners, Tucka56Radio.com. While we're at it, we'll mention our other replay partner, 95.1 FM, WLPZ, LPFM. You can set your dial for a weekly encore of tonight's complete broadcast each Saturday at noon. And while you're there, enjoy the great information, education, and entertainment for members of the community, by members of the community, on Leominster's owned and operated 95.1 FM, WLPZ. 4th down and 3 to go. Out of the timeout. Guthrie the snap. The give went inside. New number here, Gage Mclaughlin. First touch of the second half. He goes a gap, gets sniffed out almost immediately, taken down on the play, and he does not have enough. It's a turnover on downs. Xavier Cora made the hit to turn the tide.
Nice job right by the defense. Nothing up the middle. Collapsing in on that play. Giving the ball back to the offense here, see if they can't get something going.
The great staff at WLPZ, they're always looking for new volunteers to expand their program offerings. For information on how you can get involved, visit WLPZ.org. After the turnover, 1st and 10 Leominster, their own 31 coming left to right. Handoff in the backfield. It was Braden Martin once again.
Almost tackled by
he got the
Encarnacion. The little crisscross applesauce got crossed up.
Short loss on the play, takes the ball from the 31 back to the 30. 2nd and 11, their own 30-yard line coming left to right.
Something you can chuckle about back in the huddle a little bit, when you're up by 3 scores.
37 seconds and counting to play here in the 3rd quarter. Shotgun, high snap, fielded by Lopez. Give it to Encarnacion, and then he takes it straight up the line, cross the 30, 35, wow. And Encarnacion driving his legs forward across the 40 to the 41-yard line in the neighborhood of a Leominster first down.
Trying to see who's on the bottom of that Wolves pile, but plenty on top. 65 gets up from the bottom of that pile. None the worse for Wham, but he's getting a number of that truck that just hit me, but great job by Encarnacion just carrying that pile for all he could get.
And Bob Bonsi is going to stop the clock with 4 seconds to play in the third quarter for an official measurement. Leominster sideline was ready to just let the clock expire in the third. First there'll be a measurement, then the expire, and then the third quarter is going to draw to an end.
Could have let it expire, and they could have done this during the dead ball time, but I think they got a first down here, Todd.
They're going to stretch out the chains. Getting a good look from Bradley Bedard at Leominster TV, and he needs the Gene Steratore index card as he tries to look down there, and it looks like it's just the clip. There's the index card. You see it coming out. And he will fit the index card in there. And they said, yes, it is. It's a first down.
Love the index card call, Todd. That was awesome.
Gene Steratore caught a lot of flack for that in the NFL. But Bob Bonsi says, bring out the index card. That was the standard, by the way. Had the standard 3x5 there. Looked good.
Yeah.
From your local classrooms. That ends the third quarter. Index card and all. Teams change ends. The all-important fourth and final quarter when we continue here on RFM Audio. Through 3. Here at Doyle Field. Leominster on top of Nashoba, 20-0. We head back to RFM HQ. Kate Robbins has got your third quarter stats.
I don't have third quarter stats because I want to give you a homecoming update. I have reached out. Well, you know how I roll. I have reached out to some people that are in the know. We've been told October 14th is going to be homecoming. That is the game against Algonquin here at Doyle Field, and the dance is tentatively scheduled for October the 15th. So that is our update coming from the powers that be from Leominster High School with regard to homecoming. So October the 14th at the game, and then the 15th tentatively the dance, and that is your third quarter stat update.
Thank you, Kate. We have to keep our priorities in order. That was what we were originally told was homecoming, and then we were told, Bill Thomas, last week that tonight was homecoming, and people zigged when they should have zagged, and hey, we just go along with the flow here.
We'll be here.
We all see coming from Crocker Field right now. Shepherd Hill on top of Fitchburg, 26-19 from Crocker Field.
All right, Kate, thank you so much. FATV got the coverage. Mike LeClaire out there for us as well. As we get set to start this fourth and final quarter, teams change ends. Leominster will go right to left. Lopez with a quick pass to Drinkwater, and Drinkwater gets up near midfield after a gain of 9.5. He will be shy of a first down. They need the 49 of Nashoba for the first down.
Lost his helmet on that play, so he's going to have to sit out a play over here on the sideline.
Indeed he will. 11:42 and counting to play here in the fourth, 20-0. Our score, Leominster on top of Nashoba. Shotgun formation, 2 backs in the backfield. It's Encarnacion and Martin with Lopez. Here comes the blitz. He will roll to his right and throw low, looking for Martin out of the backfield, and it is incomplete. Need a little help with an extra block there. Encarnacion peeled out of the backfield quickly there, Bill Thomas, and let 2 come untouched blind side of Lopez.
Yeah, they were coming fast and furious right there, but nice job by Lopez. Keeps his head up, outrunning that defense and finding a potential receiver downfield, not taking a loss, and only putting that ball where his own player possibly could catch it. So good job right there by the freshman. Avoid a loss and move on here. Remain that short yardage for first down.
3rd and a yard, 3 receivers in the formation. Here comes blitz again. Encarnacion gets the handoff. He runs by the blitz. He's into the second level, across the 40, then the 30, then the 20. He's gone. Goodbye, Ricky Encarnacion. It's a Leominster touchdown.
Oh, yeah. They were a little late to signal it. I thought maybe he might have stepped out of bounds, but he got it.
11:09 to play in the fourth quarter, and Leominster hangs 6 more. It's Leominster 26 and Nashoba nothing. What a run, Bill Thomas, by Encarnacion. Well, there came that whole flood.
You had it. You had it on the snap, Todd. Here comes the blitz, and as soon as you break that first level containment, have one guy to beat, and then just outrun that corner safety to the near side here, and he did all 3.
Point after attempt coming up here now with the wind at the back of Dan Thompson. Aguilar to hold. Aguilar gets the snap, ball down. Thompson puts the foot into it, and it is caught up on the Morton Street Hill. Teams come back up the field. 11:09 to play here in the fourth quarter. Leominster on top of Nashoba by a 27-0 score.
I got to tell you, I'm sure Kate's got this stat. We throw it back to her. Maybe she can put it together, but Castellano's got to have close to 250 all-purpose yards. And you talk about an electrifying player. He's doing it all, offensively, defensively, special teams. And, you know, I saw a list in the Telegram last week who should be your player of the week, and they were looking for votes. And I wanted to see Ricky's name on that list. He was our player of the game. He had a tremendous game. Not on that list last week for a Central Mass player of the game. I wonder if he read that and maybe, a little bit extra incentive. Not that he needs it, but having a tremendous game tonight. He better be on that list this week.
Not as many reporters as you would think get out to your local high school football games these days. Kate Robbins, you got the drive summary.
Bill Thomas, it's 244 all-purpose yards thus far for Mr. Encarnacion. He has 9 receptions. He has 4 rushes. 244 total yards for him. That drive covered 69 yards, 5 plays, 2 minutes, and it ends with that 50-yard touchdown rush by Ricky Encarnacion. Leominster right now on top.
All right, Kate, thank you so
toss
much.
In some punt return yards, and he's got to be close to 300.
I was going to say. Thompson resumes the kickoff duties here, kicking from right to left, and he will float it into the second level of Upman, cross the 30, and it checks up around the 27. It is fielded, and there is a short return by Michael Hirschberger, the senior.
Short return because Stephen Dyer is right there. Nice one-on-one tackle again, wrapping him up, putting him on the ground after that short return. The Wolves starting off deep in their own territory again.
You can get the breakdown and preview of each week's action on RFM's Coach's Corner with Leominster head coach Devin Gates. New episodes premiere Mondays at 9 p.m. on these same RFM platforms, including YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. Wednesdays, you can get the Coach's Corner at 8 p.m. on Tucka56radio.com, TUCKA56radio.com, and Thursdays at 5 p.m. on 95.1 FM, WLPZ. No week starts without the breakdown and preview on Coach's Corner.
You know, we were talking something we saw in preseason. I see Lopez with the headset on, talking to the coaches. I mean, that's just good all-around coaching and situational awareness, player awareness right there.
Well, and make use of every opportunity you can to teach and instruct. And that, of course, goes when you have the opportunity to have a coach that is specializing in coaching the quarterback. Coach Aaron Canterbury is up here on press row with us. He is the quarterback's coach, and him and Osiris Lopez have developed a great relationship and chemistry, and that is where the instruction is. There is every opportunity you can to instruct and teach.
And they come off the field after a very successful drive. A basic run and play leads to a touchdown, and there's quarterback coaching going on. Even on that basic play, always something to talk about.
Short loss on first down. Makes it 2nd down and 11 back at their own 28-yard line. Guthrie with the handoff here. Looked like Diadomenico got the carry straight into the teeth of the defense. Crossed the 30 toward the 34. Gains about 6 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down and about 5 to go. They need their own 38.5-yard line for a first down.
You know, once again, Wolves doing a lot of standing around here, using up a lot of clock, chasing 4 scores now. Just things are not going well for them tonight.
Diadomenico had a little flat tire action. He had to repair the foot. Now his footwear is ready to go, and he will stand in next to Guthrie. Shotgun set with Diadomenico in the backfield. He takes the option pitch off the shotgun snap, gets out to the edge, and there's Steven Diaz again.
Again. Wow. What a game he's having on defense.
Cross the 35 and down at the 37.5-yard line. It's about 1 yard shy of a first down for Diadomenico.
Yeah, I got to add.
4th and about a yard.
Diaz is not the biggest kid on the field by any means, but he's playing big tonight.
Diaz, 5'9", 165, the senior. 4th and a yard. Their own half of midfield. Guthrie out of the eye will duck into the A-gap, cross the 40, slide to the 41, and he's got a Nashoba first down, and the Wolves' drive continues.
One of their few first downs tonight. I'm not sure what that stat is, but it's got to be low single digits with their lack of production on offense overall. Yeah, good job right there to move the chains. keep the clock going, keep the offense on the field.
Under 9 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter, 27-0. Leominster on top of Nashoba here in week 3 action. And a flag comes out for procedure. There was a flinch on the line, maybe in a couple of spots, and Bob Bonsi flew through the flag himself.
The whole left side, right side of the defensive line there wanted to get a head start, Todd.
So they'll mark it back 5 yards and replay the down. So it'll be 1st and 15, ball back at the 36-yard line of the Wolves. A hearty fall crowd on hand here at Doyle Field tonight. Bundled up for the first cool night, feeling like fall here on a September the 23rd and a Friday night.
Well, it is fall, Todd. Wasn't it 2 days ago officially?
Indeed it was.
It is fall.
It is, and it feels like fall. Guthrie the snap. Handoff went inside, new number there, 14 on the carry. Jax Chrisman, who had a phenomenal night on the defensive side of the ball. He's had a couple interceptions. He's been in the secondary. He has been challenging the Leominster secondary there. And let's face it, Bill Thomas, if Nashoba's offense was able to capitalize on the opportunities that their defense created for them, stop me, by the way, when you've heard this story before, this was Leominster's life the last 3 years. If their offense could capitalize on the defensive opportunities that were created, this could be a very different football game.
We've seen that, but with the shoe on the other foot, Todd. Oh,
Guthrie, option out, gets it into the hands of Diadomenico. Speaking of great concentration, Diadomenico reached behind his head to grab that and get the gain. Cross the 45 and down around the 48-yard line.
If that pitch goes awry, he's the only one out there with a lot of Blue Devils chasing him. Good job, though, to haul that in, bring up 3rd and short for the Wolves.
Third down and about 4 to go. They need the Leominster 49-yard line for a first down. 7:08 and counting to play here in the fourth quarter. 27-0 Leominster on top of Nashoba. Standard I formation. Sylvester and then Diadomenico. Sylvester gets the handoff from Guthrie across the 50 into the 49, and it is a first down for the Wolves, and the drive continues. Gain of 4 on the play. And of course, Bill Thomas, feeling of fall. Fall certainly going to be on display tomorrow. Johnny Appleseed Festival Saturday here in Leominster. 9 to 5, I believe, downtown. Great event put on by the Leominster Downtown Association each and every year to celebrate the birth of Johnny Appleseed, or John Chapman, here in the city of Leominster. And of course, you can find me at the First Baptist Church to get my apple crisp. That's where you will find me.
My mouth was watering while you were
downtown,
talking about that, Todd. I knew that's where you were going.
I will see you there for your apple crisp.
Hang around one of those picnic tables
with some ice cream. Take one to go. Yep, all ready for that. Looking forward to it.
Delicious times.
2nd down and 4 to go. Snap and the handoff went inside, sniffed out almost immediately and pushed back to the 45-yard line.
Trying to see
it was Diadomenico on the carry.
On the defense, looks like a little Jonathan Escabi and friends from his defensive line position. Tell you, Leominster defense just playing great. Yeah, Wolves are grinding out some yards here, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, moving the chains, but I think the defense will take that. As long as the clock keeps moving, I'm sure in the back of their mind they want to pitch this shutout, but as long as the clock's running, they're happy.
Guthrie directs some traffic, 2 backs in the gun. He whispers a last-minute instruction to Diadomenico at his left, and out of the gun. Fake the give. Now it's option out to the left. Diadomenico watches it go by as Guthrie keeps, turns the left end, gets past the original line and then the line of scrimmage, but gains maybe a yard. 4th down, 4th and about 4 to go.
Yeah, Blue Devil defense out there kind of in the middle of that play. Guthrie reluctant to pitch. Started running out of room, running to that short side of the field in front of his own bench. Probably a smart move not to throw the ball out there because that play was going nowhere.
Under 5 minutes, 4:50 and counting to play here in the fourth quarter. Leominster on top of Nashoba by a 27-0 score. Now, of course, the Apple Crisp is like the, kind of my headline, Bill Thomas, at the Johnny Appleseed Festival. But there is also a whole lot of great charitable activity going on down there. Raffles, crafts, entertainment. It is a full day in downtown Leominster, and no better way on a beautiful Saturday to come on out to downtown Leominster and be a part of the Johnny Appleseed Festival.
Games and activities.
Yes. The whole kids section.
Citywide event.
Yes, looking forward to it. Always a definite circled Saturday on our calendar. Guthrie in and out of the hands of Sylvester on 3rd down, and the pass will fall. Excuse me, 4th down.
That was a 4th down play.
We're
getting all wrapped up in the apple crisp.
Apple crisp, I know.
Turnover on downs for the Blue Devils.
Ball will go back right to left.
Yeah, we're out of football game.
Leominster has the ball 1st and 10, their own 43-yard line, coming right to left. Where are our next broadcasts, Bill Thomas? That's a great question.
I think we're on the road.
Yeah, and it's doubleheader week next week
in the stands
as well. We're looking forward to that action. Lopez takes the snap on 1st and 10. Back to pass, directing traffic, eludes a defender, rolls, throws, comeback complete for Drinkwater.
They're going to give it to him. Yep, they
are.
are.
And it is complete at the 49-yard line.
Guthrie's like, no way, but I tell you, Lopez directing traffic, motioning to Drinkwater, going down the field, coming back, looking him in, finds a way to get the ball to him.
And then
and a flag
is out for illegal participation, signaled against Nashoba.
Well, I think that signals in the wrong direction.
Yeah, well, I got to say, Bob Bonsi's point was toward Nashoba.
Yeah, I think it was man downfield. A lot of running around there, and I think a lineman kind of got lost.
So ineligible man downfield. Now he corrects the point, signaled against Leominster, so that will nullify a great play.
Yeah.
Lopez to Drinkwater on the comeback.
Good awareness right there, but you know when you're doing that much running around, the linemen kind of get
Somebody's
lost.
going to slip
They
up
think
field.
you start running downfield. They want to block, create a path for you, so we'll take that.
1st and 15 back at their own 38 for Leominster. The shotgun snap, the give for Cora. Cora rumbling and stumbling, still on his feet, trying to fight his way from a defender across the 40-yard line and down at the 42. Nice job by Zach Dolan to hold on.
Actually tackled him twice, had him down, but big handful of shirt, never actually got a knee or a forearm on the ground and had to put a second effort into that. Never let go. Good job right there.
3:34 and counting to play here in the 4th, 27-0. Leominster on top of Nashoba in this one. Leominster's got 2nd and long, 2nd and 11, almost 12, their own 41. Shotgun snap for Lopez, give it to Cora. Cora off left of the formation, cross the 45 and down around the 46-yard line. So doubleheader week next week, Bill Thomas. Leominster on the road at Shepherd Hill on Friday night. Countdown to kickoff, 6 o'clock here on the platforms of RFM, YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. And then our partners at Leominster TV join us at 6:30 from Carmagnati Field in Dudley. Looking forward to that one. And then doubleheader week continues on into Saturday. Saturday night, we've got doubleheader action for you as Shrewsbury plays host to Algonquin. That game kicks off at 6 o'clock. Our countdown to kickoff here on the platforms of RFM begins at 5 o'clock on Saturday, and we'll have that action for you out in Shrewsbury.
Two schools that know themselves very well.
Flag out from the back judge for delay of game, and those are two future Leominster opponents as well. We'll get an early look at before Leominster gets them successively in week 6 and 8.
You're right. I wouldn't be surprised to see a coach or two out there maybe for wearing some blue or maybe not wearing blue, trying to be
blending
conspicuous. Yep, two future opponents for the Blue Devils, so I'm sure they'd like a little heads up on what they got to offer.
After the penalty for delay of game, Leominster faces that 3rd and long again, 3rd and about 12. Ball back at their own 41 at left hash. Lopez asks for the ball, flips the screen, complete for Cora. He's open field, cross midfield. Now he's up across the right numbers, 40, 30, meets Guthrie at the 20, and Guthrie makes the rapid tackle at the 18-yard line. But hello, Xavier Cora in the open field. Did he scamper? Gains 40 on the play.
Tell you, heck of a play right there. And we talked about maybe a little screen pass and slow down them on rushing defensive linemen. A nice little side screen right there. Worked to perfection, but great job by Ricky Encarnacio running interference. Almost got called for a penalty. Actually looked to the official, but he didn't. Good job right there, the extra block.
Snap from Lopez, give it to Cora. Cora is gashing his way into the defense. Across the 20, then the 15, cut back toward the 10. He is close to another Leominster first down and potentially goal to go.
And winding down to a minute to go here, and I don't see the Blue Devils kneeling down here. They want to get another offensive score on the board and continue to build on what they have going here.
Final 1:04 to play here in the fourth quarter. High snap, tipped. Lopez settles. He's under duress. He will roll. Gets a late block from Arce, and Lopez spun still in bounds, and now gets wrapped and tackled safely into the sideline. And boy, did that look dangerous.
A lot of spinning around there. Once again, but at least he put the ball away. You know, that's a type of pass, type of ball that he's fumbled on and been a little careless with. Put it away there, held on to it, but no give up there, playing right to the final whistle, the Blue Devils offense is. I think he wanted to get one to drink water. That's what he was looking for. His buddy, his freshman buddy, I think he wants to get him one here before the game runs out.
Clock stopped on the play going out of bounds with 49 seconds to play in the fourth quarter.
You know this isn't going to set too well on the other sideline, that's for sure.
3rd and 5 from the 15. Blitz coming. High snap. Fielded. Give it to Cora. Cora eludes the initial challenge, and then tackle comes after the play. Sylvester engaged with the right guard, Corin Sullivan, and a wrestling match ensues back at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, it's behind the play.
And under 30 seconds we go here in the fourth quarter. And Lopez is begging them. He wants to step on the gas here on fourth down. And Coach Gage says, no, that's the way this one's going to end.
That's enough.
Final 18 ticks will come off the clock here at Doyle Field. Leominster will go to 3-0 with a 27-0 shutout of Nashoba. And Bill Thomas, they have still only allowed 6 points to opposing offenses.
Some quick recall. I believe that 6 points was in the first quarter of the Fitchburg game.
That is correct.
So let's do 11, and I believe it was early on in that quarter, over 11 quarters of shutout football pitched by the Blue Devils defense. You can't ask for anything more to start a season. The offense matching up, giving them all the points they need. Nice job on both sides of the ball by the Blue Devils early on in the season.
Final score from historic Doyle Field. Leominster tops Nashoba 27-0 to improve their record to 3-0. The Wolves fall to 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of action as the teams shake hands and Coach Devin Gates and Coach Andy LeBlanc get a chance to exchange pleasantries. Former Fitchburg teammates back in the day know each other well, and of course is going to create a great little rivalry here between these two schools. What is already a great rivalry between these two programs for the years ahead. In the last 6 meetings between these two schools, Leominster is now 4-2 in the last 6 meetings. 27-0 Leominster tops Nashoba here at historic Doyle Field. For those of you joining us on Leominster TV, we say thank you so very much for joining us here tonight. It's time now for you to grab your smart-enabled device, open your favorite digital media app, and we've got so much more to come here on RFM Audio. Our post-game extra is coming up next on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. I want to thank Bradley Bedard for bringing us the pictures tonight here on Leominster TV. Replays on Leominster TV throughout the weekend and on into next week. Tune in for those. 27-0 Leominster tops Nashoba. For Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and Bradley Bedard, I am Todd Robbins, saying thank you so very much for joining us. So long to those of you joining us on Leominster TV. For the rest of you coming along with us, post-game next. This is high school football on RFM Audio.
LTV's Action Sports is brought to you in part through the generous support of these Leominster sponsors: Richardson Funeral Home, www.richardsonfuneralhome.net, the Il Camino Restaurant, www.ilcamino-restaurant.com, and by MP Crowley Company Incorporated, www.mpcrowleyinc.com.